What is going on, everybody? Oh shit, I'm giving spoilers for what I want to talk about later in the stream. How's it going? It's been a while. Mike 10, finally you get to see me live once again. How has life been for you? Do you still work? How has Boba Tea Shop been doing? Because I feel like it's been almost at 500. Ooh, you're gonna be overwhelmingly positive at this rate, which is gonna be pretty sweet. Like Boba. I guess your first discount is going to start in 2 days as well, because then the Steam Summer Sale is gonna start. Calendar, right? Do they not have a SteamDB Summer Sale? When's the next sale? Yeah, 2 hours, 2 days and 8 hours from now. I mean, my day job. I quit after Home Zero. Oh, you quit your day job. All right. Timitia78, hello from New Zealand. This is the first time that New Zealand, I feel, can watch any of our live streams as well. Sinuskista, how are you doing? Are you going to Gamescom this year once again? And Nash fan, FL13. Morning, Suhu. You guys are like super excited it's me for some reason. As if the last 3 live streams that I did also just warrant me. Hi, Petit Pois as well. Morning, boys. Oh, I guess that's EU gang waking up as well. So yeah, I don't have any concrete goals. We're not gonna work on games today. Hi Marnix, 6 a.m. -2 degrees and going to the gym. Dear Dylan, where on earth do you live that it's -2 degrees right now? And Midnight Lemon, New England, USA. I feel like you are true to your name. Just New England, 5 in the morning. You just woke up for me, I guess. South of Brazil. Is it like, you know, the Falkland? No, not is it Falkland Islands? I don't know. It's been good you being closer to my time zone. Yeah. Sinuskista, I'll probably be going to Gamescom this year again. Maybe I'll find you this year. You should be there. I'm planning, because I was also like talking in like the super cool Patreon Insider channel. This is only if you're like a Patreon member. Like more and more people are like coming to Gamescom. So probably I'm gonna like make like a temporary channel or something about Gamescom. Maybe with like a live tracker of where we are. And I'm like considering to have like some incentive, basically. Of like, come to me and I'll give you something. I have no idea what I will give you. But it's like to kind of give a little bit of a hunt as well, I guess. So yeah. Last Gamescom, I was in the indie area all day. We spent a lot of time also at the business areas and things like that. Was there on Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, I think. No, Wednesday we did indie area as well. We're going to do live streams as well normally. We're going Wednesday and Thursday. I think Friday we're skipping for Gamescom, and then I'll be going to Gamescom to DevCom as well, the 2 days in advance. So join the Discord if you're planning on joining Gamescom, because I'll make some announcement. I'll let you know, because for example last year we also went to Steam. Maybe you can come to Steam this year again. Yeah. Your last time you were making a simulator game and you used Bezzy. What did you think? Oh, so this is now the like unsponsored approach or whatever, like the unsponsored thought. I like it. We'll make all the other hosts. At Gamescom, I'm surprised that WoW is still so popular. Only done that stuff at BlizzCon. Do they still do BlizzCon? I think like Blizzard kind of fell off and the dedicated events work less. So yeah. Are we playing some games today? I don't think so. We like to get some feedback from your game dev loop. Are you talking about like just Steam page stuff? Place for that is in our Discord, the Improve My Game channel. You make a post here like these guys. Let's just give an example. I'm gonna do one. The goal is not to be an exact... Let me zoom this thing out a bit. Why is it so zoomed in? Where it's like, oh, would love to some feedback on my Steam page. And it's like, screenshots look very zoomed in. Looks kind of pretty okay. It's a very unique art style. It has a trailer. It shows gameplay. This is very Skyrim-inspired, I feel. Capsule is okay. Like, we do stuff like this. Got the localization. Got the GIFs. I don't have any big issues with this, for example. So you drop it in there. Yo, Jesse, how's it going? Isn't it like hella early? Time in Texas. What are you doing awake, my dudes? Revive Magical Girl Guardians. Yeah. We are not gonna do that. We just announced the game. What do you mean you just announced a game and you didn't tell me about anything? Sun Studios. No. Let's go to Warriors. I can find it. Oh, it's the collab one, right? It's not on Steam yet. Yeah, I know. I remember. I got you. Game dev, I'll take a quick look. Operation Clean Splash. Okay, decent capsule from here. Okay. My dear friend, Game Dev Loop. This inherently doesn't look terrible, except the fact that you chose the worst possible genre. Casual indie puzzle platformer puzzle funny. You're doomed. You're doomed. You're just doomed. That's the only way I can say it. Jesse says it, Vankel, 2D platformer, yikes. He said it, not me. I'm doing a rage horror game. Maybe I'm crazy. I think that one is fine. Hey Gamer 655 as well, by the way. But this is doomed. Oh, I have a fun thing that we can actually look at. Let me find it. It was like in one of these Discords. Someone took all of the Steam. Yeah, this is the leaderboard of Steam NextFest. Every single game that was on like the Steam NextFest, and like how well it performed. So the best performing Steam NextFest demo was an adult-only game called Smutstone. And that's it. Which I think is very funny. Jump Ship, like, these things are fine. Dead as Disco, Ball Spit, like, these are the big ones. Hard Level Code, how are you? What are you talking about? A whole bunch of random stuff. Making another deck builder because I want to contribute to the genre being oversaturated to hell. And some of these games are... let me pull up actually the viewer NextFest submissions. NextFest demos. Because some of these, let me find it. We played the green ones. Some of them performed pretty good. Like Replicat was, I think, a top 500. And it was a really fun one. Yeah, 556. Best performing one. So top 20%. Spellbinding. I'm still low-key obsessed with it. Indeed. I think this was one of the better performing ones. I think also like Caput Mortem. 550. Yeah, it was very close to Replicat. Like, these are two viewer games. But we also have some stinkers. Because if we go like all the way to the bottom... This was the worst performing game, actually. What is the worst performing Steam NextFest demo game? It's this. It's a 2D platformer. This game participated in Steam NextFest and Steam decided this ranked the worst out of all. It has the same amount of followers as Game Dev Loop, Operation Clean Splash. So this may be the danger. No, not Game UI Database, Gamealytic. What's it called? Jolly Land Adventure. Also, Sinuskista, I will be at Gamescom this Wednesday. I'll be there Sunday till Thursday. All the time. So yeah. Hard Level Code. Have you ever made a game solo? No. Because it's just not what we're good at also. Okay. 48 wishlists after Steam NextFest. I can see why this is the worst one at the bottom. Is there another one here? Oh, I think another weird one was like Bekla. This performed surprisingly easy. Or like surprisingly good. I think partially because of just the visuals and people didn't actually play it. Pogo Pogo, is this a rage game? I'm very curious now. Okay, this is not what I expected. You can send me the article on Discord if you want. Thank Jesse. So yeah, what were some other ones? I'm like trying to see if there are any. Wow, we got a total of 75 Steam Next Fest submissions, so 3% of the Next Fest was Bite Me Game viewers. I'm gonna see if there was anything else that I was like, oh, this is very nice. And see how I do. I'm curious about Puffin Parcel Post. Because I don't have high hopes. 1,800, yeah. Not ideal. I'm gonna drop this link in chat actually, so you guys can check it out for yourselves as well if you like want to see what game performed decently and like where they ended up with. Snapball 2 Anomalies. Is this an anomaly hunting game? I'm just curious now. This has to be one of the darkest screenshots and capsule combos I've ever seen. What am I supposed to look at in this one? Okay. Nightmares Gloop. So this is basically, I think this is an anomaly game. Short. 10 to 15 minutes. Ooh. How do you do a demo of that? I think that's a rough one. Another one. Boombi, unfortunately, performed pretty badly. Once again, 2D platformer. This is the game from Samyam, the other YouTuber game dev. Yeah. Oh, thanks by the way, Sinuskista, from a convert from Prime to Tier 1 sub. I have no idea how Twitch works, but thank you very much for that. So yeah. But impactful, not only short. Yeah. So, like, part of me is like, I kind of want to see, like, some of these names are like so. What's like some other of the bad ones? What is this name? Oxen. Swinger Liana. Damn. All you have to know is you will get a lot more money, a lot of money from this Tier 1 sub. Thank you very much, Sinuskista. That's all I care about. Ascended Dome, a massive rage parkour game with roguelike power-ups. Connect your game to Twitch chat. Wow, this list just like popped like 9 more people. Or like, let's go and take a look where we are at. Ooh, this is a questionable visuals. So this is basically like a mini game collection designed for YouTubers. I don't think. Okay, so we talk a lot about content creator games, right? But I don't think making games purely for content creators like this, where the first thing you have to do basically is connect your game to Twitch chat, is how you like market these styles of games. Because like at this point, I feel like, can I play this game myself? Probably not. Sulerino finally started to learn an engine instead of making stuff from scratch. We'll see how it goes. That's a smart move. Unity Unreal 2.5D template. Let me see if I can find this. Unity kind of released something. Not Unity, some third party, I think. Maybe on XD Everything app? I don't think so. This came out, I think, like today or yesterday. It's like the exact same game in both Unity and Unreal. So you can kind of like learn the switch between the two. Let me find it if I can. Probably Unreal Engine like announced it or something, because it was like a co-op thing. Can I find the Unreal Engine Twitter? Sorry, XD Everything app. Yeah, here. So here, if you have experience with Unity and you're looking for a practical learn how to develop a game in Unreal, then like they created a parrot game sample that's just for both both Unity and Unreal to like make the swapping easier. And you have a whole sample game, which I think is an interesting approach to like show the differences between two different genres. Is Bite Me going to join the UE5 gang? I don't think so. But I'll probably switch to Unreal Engine 5 before I'll switch to Godot. All I'm saying. I get 4 months sabbatical from my day job to create and launch my game. If you have to start still, can you link this? Oh, you mean this? I can. I feel like this has become a Byte stream at this point. And it's now on Fab. Leave Godot alone. Hey. I have to create a rage game for streams in Godot. Just create a build and see how the stream freezes. I wonder how it like what the exact issue is. I'm not a Godot dev, so I really don't really know how it will happen. Godot hate will be tolerated. There was a new Godot conference. I was like, should I do this as not the Boston one? They announced like a for-profit one in Munich. I'm like, should I do a? Oh, there's a Godot asset store, like a real one. Is it this one, the Godot? Oh god, now there's two. I think this is the real one, Godot asset library. No, this looks horrible. Godot builds is for web, Windows, and Linux, right? Yeah, and oh, this looks pretty swanky. Godot Asset Store has 30 assets on it. Oh god. Oh, is this the official one? This is so confusing, because we have the Godot Marketplace.com and we have GodotEngine.com and then the library asset. This one looks better, though. Oh, do they already have AI slop? Is this AI slop? This looks... I don't know. I don't think so. I can't wait for the 2D AI slop to like flood. If I go to like 2D... textures and materials. You know, like... these look alright. But like Fab has just been like blasted with like random AI generated slop icons as well. Hi Carrie, how's Japan? It's awesome. That's the only way I can describe it. I really enjoy it here. No regrets. I don't. People are like, "Oh, you must miss your friends and your family." I'm like, no, I don't. I get to eat chicken every day and be happy. Oh. Store-beta, is this the official one? The GodotEngine.org. Oh, there was another space here. Aha. This is the Godot Asset Store. I see. Under heavy development, Godot Steam GD extension. Let me actually send this actually to someone. Who publishes Godot assets, just in case. And let's take a look at yours in a second as well, Vankill. Is this the return of Godot? I don't think so. Famichiki is good. Andre, you know what's it about. How did you learn Japanese? So, it all started in COVID. When I was like, fuck it, I'll learn the language. Kind of because I have one of my friends, he's coming over soon, because he's going to come with me to Bit Summit. He learned Japanese from 0 to fluent in like 2.5 years. He was together with me in my class. We were pretty good friends. He just studied for 3 hours a day and then like called Japanese people. And I was like, oh my god, I want to do this as well. So I like picked up the Japanese from 0 books back during COVID, and then I like kind of learned a little bit, like this series. And I didn't do much. This is not what I was looking for. Like they have books like these ones. And I did it for like 2 months, and then I forgot it, and then I picked it up a year later, and then I forgot it. And then I went to Japan, actually, and then I started learning more. And the main thing I did is I just brute forced all of the kanji. Like, I know all the 2,200 base kanji. I learned all of them in like 90 days. And then now I just need to do grammar, but it's like, if you're immersed in Japan, it's pretty easy to pick stuff up. I'm by no means fluent or like surviving level, but like I am surviving level, and I can read perfectly, or to most part. I can't read perfectly, actually. That's BS. But I can read to a certain degree, and like I can understand pretty okay, basically. And La Trome, it's actually not because I watched a lot of anime, because I started learning the Japanese from zero. I don't think I have it open anymore. Before I ever watched an anime. And that's it. So what's that? And then that means family missed. It's Kazoku. I got you, fam. So what do they have? Do they have AI slop? I want to see if they do. Oh, they have one asset. I think the big problem with like inherently the open source product is going to be the hesitancy that a Godot user may have to pay for something. I think an asset store, you know, someone who uses Unity or Unreal is going to be way more down to buy an asset than someone who uses Godot. Like, I think, so this is an asset fluid flux, which is like for water. And it's like, this is 300 euros, basically. There is no way a Godot user, I'm sorry, a Godot user is never going to pay 300 euros for one asset. Whereas I think that mindset is way more like prevalent with an Unreal or a Unity developer, which also means there's way more incentive for developers of those assets, basically, to participate in like the Unity asset store than on Godot, because they know they're going to get more sales. The Godot user doesn't have more money to buy assets. Maybe they have, but it's more of a like psychological thing. Or maybe they don't even want to more. That's the thing. No one should pay $300 asset. Just wait for Humble Bundle. Like the Fluid Flux is like the one that I know. Like this is like what AAA studios and things like that use as well. I think like Mind's Eye and things like that use this. This is a more expensive asset, definitely. But there are a lot of like pretty expensive assets that like you would still pay money for. I think like for a lot of I shouldn't go on itch because I'm logged in and I'm gonna get like NSFW stuff. But like a lot of Godot I think has been going on like itch as well. And that's mainly for like art, but I think like actual like toolkit extensions is a different story. Now I forgot what I wanted to talk. Hey, how can we promote our game without income? I mean, no budget. You send emails to content creators, Luma. If only someone made a video about it. Fight Me Games. Influencers. This video. No, not this one. Here, this video. How we spent $0 on marketing and on marketing our game and sold thousands of copies. This explains you step by step everything you have to do, basically. Just go and watch this. Yeah, I have almost no issue buying Unity assets, but I never buy Blender assets. Yeah, it's like kind of more of a psychological thing, indeed. Actually, there's a Humble Bundle with 280. Yeah, we picked up the Humble Bundle. Let me check. Because there were some cool things in here. There's one software. The like Unity Megamix. I assume you mean this one. Is there a 280? This is all like 30, 60, 90. Oh yeah, the Sci-Fi Boss Pack. But yeah, I think this is an okay... We picked up the bundle because we had like a few assets, mainly the Modular Castle and the Blood Effects. That we were like, okay, these are really interesting. And then some of the other ones, like the horror prison, is like we can maybe use this, or the battleships, because at some point we're gonna make a sci-fi game. So it's like we're just collecting stuff. This is a very... This is a super specific asset, I feel already, though, that not a lot of developers may need. Which might justify why it's like so expensive. As well. Do you collect the free assets in the Unity store every week? Of course we do. I've been trained by it. I only knew about it like half a year ago, but since then I started collecting all of them. Henry Muller is like, hi, I want to develop an RTS game in Unity like Warcraft 3. You're fucked. I don't know exactly how to start with programming and AI, and unit movement and attack. It's a very cute way to write. You don't want to start with an RTS. And even your 5th game shouldn't be an RTS. Like, we were talking after we released... after we cancelled Artifacts of the Condemned, it was like, okay, what is Thomas gonna do? And Thomas was like, I like RTSs and I like JRPGs. And I was like, you're not gonna make either of those, my dude. Because even for someone like Thomas, making an RTS is just not something that we as a company can sustain, basically, as well. An RTX 5070 Ti is good for Unreal Engine 5. Yes, it is, Guts. I swear to God, if you're gonna spam that message one more time, I'm gonna fling you out of this chat. Yeah. Oh, Game Dev Loop, thanks for your time and check out the game. We developed the game for mobile. It's a 2D puzzle platformer. I don't think I have it open anymore. What was it called? Operation... Forgot. Whatever. Yeah, I guess why not on Steam? I don't think you're gonna recoup the $100, unfortunately. And yeah, I collect the free fab assets as well. The thing is, we're not Unreal Dev, so the fab assets are a bit... better, are like a little bit worse. Like some of these, like the train pack, I think this is an Unreal only one, and it's like, yeah, technically we could maybe convert it, but I don't know immediately what we're gonna do with it. This one is also for Unity, which is cool, although I don't really see us using this anytime soon, basically. Check RTS cost auf. The German is showing Sinuskista at Game Dev TV. Behavior tree system Unity 6. Yeah, I don't think we're doing... Because that's the thing as well. Thomas approached it of like, I'm going to make a small RTS. And then it's like, yeah, forget about it. You're not doing a small RTS. Shame is here, so an open world RTS MOBA FPS in Renpai. Put that train into Forge. This is like a hella high poly train. I don't think we're gonna do this in Forge Industry anytime soon. Come to UE. I don't think... Like, for horror games, maybe, although we're discovering HDRP as well now. And I think that is gonna, like, solve the things where, like, visuals are better in Unreal, but, like, we're getting, like, to know HDRP, and I think we can make some better looking games in there as well now. Trade an MMO RTS platformer. How do you... An MMO platformer, sure. An MMO RTS, I'm not so sure about. Origins Remaster. It's exactly the same graphics with a high poly train that sometimes brings resources. So, this was a question. I don't know here who watched our... Let's pull up Bite Me. We did some live streams recently, right? Like, these were 2 sponsored streams for Bezzy. This is not a sponsored stream anymore. We just did 2. Right now, we don't have any open deals with them. I kind of want to know, like, your thoughts on this as well, because I do like this format. I'm going to be honest. I was kind of wanting to do these streams myself anyway, but just using, like, Gemini and whatever, or whatever other LLM. And they were like, okay, actually, I want to sponsor you. And I'm like, I know, I reached out to them, like, hey, sponsor us. And I think this is good because I like these live streams, but I want to know your guys' thoughts on like this as well, because I do like the fact that, you know, this gives me an excuse to kind of procrastinate and try out different genres. Bro, those were banger streams. I like the prototyping. Okay, like that's kind of the thoughts I have, because like we're keeping it open right now that we may do more with them sponsored as well, which is like an extra win for us. And then I pitched them of like, oh, we can remake Forge Industry as like a game, or like we can take in one of the prototypes games, like for example, or Survivor, like, or try again at the streamer bait, and like turn it into completion. I liked them, but I would like if you actually go back to them for a part 2. Okay, so that is another thing. I would maybe consider the Survivor like the streamer bait game. I don't think so. I think this was bad content. I think this was a really fun stream. A680 Bezzy sponsored Thomas Brush as well. They also sponsored Aya. And to be honest, it made me dislike Bezzy more after Brush got sponsored. I think what like I was more annoyed by, kinda, is like how the integration was done. Like, this is a difference with me. I don't know if you guys noticed this. I tried to tell this to myself when I fall asleep. Oh wait, at Guts, I think I added this for you. Is it gonna work? I added this command. Is it specs? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm gonna see if it pops up. Yes, it does. There we go. Now you know. Fuck what? Oh, they did like pretty basic mid-roll ads, whereas I feel like these styles of content are just way more fun as well. I try to do the same with like the planetary processing live streams, because we also get like sponsored deals that are kind of shitty. Of like, hey, can you just make an 8-minute long video about like some AI to 3D generation thing? To that I say like no. I always try to make like videos that are still kind of fun. And that's it basically. And I do think these are fun. I want to continue them. I just don't know, but like Jeroxia, you're like, I want you to go back and like continue games. That's kind of the balance I want to know now. Like, do I just prototype like 7 different like prototypes, or do I take one and then pull that to completion and basically have like another game in the Bite Me repertoire that is just fully developed on stream, kind of like what Randy did for his game. Can I find like? But I don't want to spend 8 hours a day streaming. That's the thing. So it'll be kind of like a smaller thing as well. This I should have seen this one coming. I think Randy Prime is like his. No, I'm gonna find it. Yeah, this is the real Randy. But yeah, he did like a whole bunch of live streams if he didn't delete them at this point. Yeah, where he switched to second channel, and then like he developed the entire game in like a few months on stream, like, you know, no engine and whatever. I do that. Where can I find a place to promote my game? You send content creator emails, and that's it basically. At the end, I just love Marnik streaming. Sinuskiste, thank you very much. If you love me streaming. So yeah. Meanwhile, Chad is unfolding in an Unreal versus other engine fight. But yeah. So we'll probably do more of the prototyping streams at some point. Although this was like, I think this is like a very high cadence. I'll probably do some like once every week or every 2 weeks or something. And leave it at that. Is weed legal in Japan? Absolutely not. Any drugs is like super illegal here. And it's like, yeah, it's a big no-no. Like, can you find them? Yeah, but you can find them a lot. Like, it's a lot harder than like Europe or whatever. So yeah. Just doing them 3 times a week easy. If they have the budget for it, it would be easy. We would out-earn everything with that. But I think like once a week would be fine. Because I like these styles of streams as well. Where, you know, we're just talking. Oh yeah, Speaker, where can I find those free weekly assets on the Unity Asset Store? There's a weekly sale, but all of them are paid. No, you need to watch better. So you go to the Asset Store, and you have you go to the Publisher of the Week here. And then say 50% of assets, get a free gift, and that's the thing you want. And then here it says, like, at the top, this is the asset giveaway, add dots plus to your card, so that's the asset. And then you enter the coupon code, and that's it, basically. So you then go get your gift, it goes to the tool, add it to cart, and that's it, basically. So yeah. Hi, Yanis, as well. You need to do some more tier listing. I have, like, the stream idea at some point of, like, tier listing things that shouldn't be tier listed. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. I feel like we've done most of the tier list. Like, we would just redo, basically. Oh, no, I don't want to change my picture, YouTube. Tier listing your previous tier list video. So we did that. It was a live stream format we did. It's actually one of our most viewed live streams. Like, revisiting our game dev genre tier list. And then there should be a second one, revisiting our game dev tier list engines art funding. I'm not gonna tier list our live streams where we tier listed the tier lists we did. I think that's a second one. Also, Lightfire, what's the best advice you can give for someone to start making his first dream game? Don't start with your dream game, is the thing. Start with just making a game. Because starting with your dream game, the problem is you're not gonna have the skills to make your dream game. Tier listing coding patterns, Yutan, is actually a video. It was one of the first video ideas we ever had, but it's just like, it's so boring. There's nobody who wants to watch it. It's miserable. And also, I can't host it because I don't know anything. Because if you want to start with your dream game, Lightfire, right now you have 0 skill. So if you're going to try to make your dream game, there are 2 options. Either you're going to fail miserably, and you're going to have a bad game, and you're going to get put off from game dev altogether because you will never get to that vision of making your open world Zelda-like or whatever. That's option 1. Option 2 is you make your 2D platformer dream game. In which case, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Is this really your dream game? Do you really not have any dreams more than making a 2D platformer? I can't believe that all you want to make is make a shitty 2D pixel art platformer and call that your dream game. It's gonna be mean, but I kind of don't want you to have this as your dream game. This is maybe someone's dream game. I just hope better from you. Can't dream game be small? It can be, but not a lot of people actually dream small. If you're being honest. That's more of a problem. Tier listing Bite Me games. Oh, this was one that I actually did want to do. Where I'm gonna play our viewers' games on stream. No, not our viewers' games. Our own games on stream and then put them in a tier list. And like basically revisit also like Forge Industry and things like that. I think that including cancelled ones could be an interesting idea. I think some of these are very, niche though, because a lot of you guys don't know about a lot of these games. Like, for example, Ashes of Lyra is a game we worked on for 1.5 months. But we worked on it when we had like 1,000 subs or whatever, and we never fully like properly announced it. So a lot of people don't really know that. And that makes it more awkward. Like a Magical Girl Guardians we can tier list. But not like everything. I have this feeling with the like Sinuskist is like, I have the feeling with these I'm making my dream game videos that's the same as I've always slept in the sheets of my favorite team story, the professional footballer still. Oh, like when yeah, I get what you mean. So yeah. I'm doing my dream game, Bannerlord Souls-like ARPG PvP as my first real game, but I do have the skills and free time to spend the best part of a decade to it. Yeah. That's it. My dream game is a clicker game, A6. I hope you have better dreams. Does Bite Me have a game in active development at the moment? We have 2. We have 2 games in active development right now. I think I can... this is going to be very rough. But I can show you it. Guys, I'm going to show you what we're working on. But I'm going to put this as a big caveat. There's not a lot to show for right now because both of the games we're working on are multiplayer games. And we're still kind of figuring out the multiplayer aspect, the network syncing, and all of that. before we focus on like actual content, because both of them are multiplayer. We want the multiplayer to be better than Unicycle Pizza Time, for example. So that's why. Is that Kid Kraken? It is Kid the Adventure Tuna. This is why you have those free student things. I used this when I was like, still student, and I just like it. It's fuck the terrain. What's wrong with the terrain? Basically, Git has an issue with .terrain files or like terrain asset files where it treats them as binary. No, it treats them as text files, but they're binary or something. So basically, the moment you push a terrain file, it doesn't know. Like, if someone else pulls it, it doesn't run for them. Like, it doesn't correctly transmit the data. So we have to make a custom entrance in our Git attributes of like, you have to treat this as a binary file. And I forgot to add like .terrain part of the pod behind it. Why does this take so long to pull? Funky Slot is like, oh, do you think multiplayer can be done by a solo dev? I don't... Like, it gets done, but I don't think you should do it for the most part. Especially if it's your first game. Like, a game, for example, like Paddle is done by a solo dev. I think he was a solo dev last time I checked. And it's a 2-person game. Oh, he updated the screenshots. And this is not... I mean, I guess if it's an artwork override, this is kind of... Okay, it's unique. This is a solo dev game, but you play it with 2 people. But I really wouldn't do it. Is server running on player machines secure risk? It's not PvP games, so it doesn't matter. That's the security thing. If you buy the game, if you want to cheat on the game, it's your game to do so. I'm not going to stop you. Okay. Let's start with Maid Cafe Simulator, actually. Little Company is also made by solo dev. Yeah, but Zeekers made like also once again like 10 games before he made Little Company. So yeah. What is Shape Survivors? Oh, Harbinger Hugs. It's a prototype we did in 2 streams ago. We had a sponsored stream where we just did prototypes. Shape Survivors is a minimal survivor-like. I do like this game, although I kept thinking about it. Do I have like some gameplay? Yeah, here. It's like I prototyped it in 3.5 hours, like on stream, where it's just like a simple survivor-like. And that's it. So, hello Harbinger as well. I am Belgium indeed. I'm neither Dutch nor German. So maybe I'll revisit this at some point, but maybe not. It depends. Check out Burnet. Yeah, we're using the Unity netcodes for game objects, and it's okay. Why does this take so long to start up? Yeah, from the north side, from the correct side of Belgium. So I'll start the other one as well, so I can just start chugging along, because this takes time. Yeah, Hightail got cancelled in a surprise to nobody. This was a very big update. Like, this is from the developers of like Hypixel as well, and now they announced that over like 10 years of development, their Minecraft clone is gonna be shut down. I never really followed the Hightail stuff though, so I don't really know that much about it. Thanks for the follow, by the way, Harbinger Hugs. Okay, so it's the Maid Cafe Simulator. I think I can just run from this scene directly. This is a very basic thing right now. Also, it's, single player, but it's like okay. I need to put my game here. It's 16:9. It is. We have pipe. Then it's, very basic. We can take this. I can put these in. I can drop. Can I interact with this? I think William didn't implement it, but like we can do processing. We can open stuff. Like this is still kind of basic right now. It's doing like inverse kinematics and syncing inverse kinematics over the network and things like that. But this is basically all the gameplay we have, and all the rest is just focused on the multiplayer, on the networking and all of that, because that's kind of more the hard part that we want to get out of the way first. And what is this? It's a matrix. So yeah. Thanks also at MG Games for the follow on Twitch. So this is one of the games. Like this is just a very simple playground because we don't have the real level for it yet. I only did the UI like I think 2 days ago. So this is one. Yeah, let each client of IK. Yeah, that's kind of the thing that William is doing. Also, why is this still opening? Oh well. UI stream went hard as well. Yeah. Have fun as well, Harbinger Hugs. Thanks for dropping by. So you're the UI guy. I'm just the everything that's not programming guy. I'm the level design guy. I'm the game design guy. I'm the UI guy. I'm the marketing guy. Thomas and William have a very blissful, peaceful life where they just wake up, write code, and go to sleep. And that's it. You have to make bigger colliders on the player. Actually, 2 bigger colliders, yeah. I'm the busy programmer boy. We'll see about that. My Unity is still compiling and starting stuff. Marnix says many hats. I do. Okay, so this is an interesting one, this game. Age of Rot. So the goal was to make a Call of Duty Zombies game, but medieval. That's the hook. And the first 2 weeks we tried getting this to work in first person, and it was just miserable. So right now we're in a third person version of the game. Like the same loop as a Call of Duty Zombies, but set in medieval, so no guns, like bows and arrows and whatever. I should have started from the other scene. And we're getting... Okay, yeah, so... Let's try this again. When you did the UI buttons, did you use the vertical layout group thing? Always, I use the vertical layout group thing. It's gonna start. Okay. I'm just gonna host. We're just gonna ignore the errors. First person, yeah, so it's third person now. Because it's also for like animations, it was an issue. And this is still very rough. Wow, this is like... Well, Thomas is working on control still for now. Oh, why does it stop moving? I do not like this Thomas. That I have to, like, I attack and like I just get frozen in place for a second. But the idea is that I should be able to like... We have our mystery box. What's the interact button? Oh, this is... Why is the mouse so miserable? Okay, now we have a bow. I actually haven't played this in like a few days. And then we can like swap. Okay, this is broken. No, it's not. You can like swap shoulders. So it's basically the same loop with third person. And then we have our waves. It's very much Call of Duty inspired. You can draw. I can shoot. And right now we only have skeletons, but it's going to be like zombies and whatever. That's not the maid cafe. Yeah, this is a very different one. We also have 2 levels. We have a bunch of different ones. Why don't you guys just work on one project, Funky Slot? The answer for that is simple. You can't make a baby in 1 month if you have 9 women. And that's kind of what... This looks wonky. I also am running at like 10 FPS for some reason. So that's the thing. This is like both of these games are not going to come out anytime soon. Because we know these are going to take more time. So what I'm saying, what we basically realized is we used to work with everyone on one big game. The problem is that Thomas and William have very different programming styles, very different overhead and very different like everything basically. And they work very differently. They don't actually work very great together. So we share code bases for certain things. But then they both have like their own little box. One likes to, because they also like to work on different games, basically. Is a streaming software? It eats a ton of power. It shouldn't, though. But it's because I have this problem with low FPS also when I'm not streaming. It's just, I don't know why. I think it's like HDRP is not optimized at all. So basically, when they work together, we don't actually get much of a performance improvement. Because then we suddenly have to be like, oh, both of them want to do code reviews. And then they have different coding styles. They have all of these different problems. And like, Thomas wouldn't enjoy working on the game William's working on. William probably wouldn't enjoy working on the game that Thomas is working on. And then you haven't seen them fight over like some game design stuff and things like that, which is also kind of, you know, someone is like adamant of like, no, we should use this control scheme. It's like, no, this control scheme. And now it's like kind of like, you know, guys, we have our own little boxes. Do not fight. Each works on their own game. And I'm in a supporting capacity for both games, basically. So yeah. Other developers, we need to focus to finish the game eventually. Bite me games, I don't give a fuck. We're working on multiple games at once. Yeah, nothing gets programmers more irate and conflicting naming conventions. Yeah, because we also have like Thomas, like half of the code he writes is like filled with typos and whatever. The best thing that could have come for him was the AI Copilot, because it just has like spell check for him, basically. So that's kind of why we do this style. When you get like 10 games, you can offer the Bite Me Game Pass. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but we've tried. We've tried working on the same game, but this is the format that works better for us. It's also the format that works better for us as a studio because we have more games coming out at the same part. And I think this is actually a great segue to start some beef. This is not beef. Who knows Thomas Stewart in chat? Raise your hand. So this is another Thomas as well. He uploaded a video recently. Here. The most underestimated way to sell indie games. Like this is just from an extension that like redoes the titles. Sockpop's collective successful but rarely copied business model of frequently releasing small games together. I talked about this with him before on just on Discord, because he talked about it in a previous podcast, and I reached out to him like, hey, these are some of my thoughts about it. Yeah, the subscription thing. We are getting kind of close to this thing. So the whole goal, like the video, I think has some flaws, but it's based around this. If we go to here, Sockpop, they make games. They are currently at like $6,000 a month, and they release like a few games, something. You can see at the end of every month, like they spike down and then go back up, whatever. They're basically being paid to make games in kind of a subscription bundle where every Sockpop Patreon. They make games every month or so because it's 4 people, 4 developers, and they just alternate between different developers. Every developer is like basically 4 months to make a game, and then they kind of offset it. So like games like this, okay, this was December 20th, this was February 19th, this was February 20th, like bonus games as well. And then you get the Patreon subscription. This funds them partially, and then they also release those games on Steam. I'm just gonna go Stacklands. It's like the easiest one to find. Come on, we can do this. So they're like a collective, the Sockpop collective, and they've made a lot of games. Now the thing is, you can see here, a lot of these games have also gotten some pretty low revenue. Like these games are like $500, whatever. I think their median revenue per game is 1.6k, which isn't great. Now they have the Patreon that offsets it, gives them 6k a month, but remember, it's split up between 4 people. Sockpop is 4 friends from the Netherlands. And the hypothesis is basically like, then they get like a few big games, like Grun, Simulant, and Stacklands. Stacklands is the very famous one. That started as like basically their rapid prototyping. Every 4 months, every developer in the collective released a game, and then they found one that stuck, and then they went more all in on that. I think his video, the one from Thomas, is very noble. And it is indeed a rarely copied model. But I think it's rarely copied for a reason. And that reason is that it's fucking hard to get Patreon members if you're not making adult-only games. And I think that is the big problem. Setting up a, first getting 4 people. Because you can't do this solo. You have to have multiple people. You can't solo this collective model because you just can't hit the release cadence. You need to find multiple people that you trust and that you can work with, because we're talking about money. I can do this with Thomas and William, kind of. Let's assume we are the Bite Me Games collective where we all release games, which we kind of do, because if we go to here, let's go to our list of all the games we've ever made. Can we just like top sellers? Okay, no. We have Kyoto Anomaly. Kyoto Anomaly was made by me and William. Thomas never touched this game. Overtime Anomaly was made by me and William. Thomas never touched this game. My Virtual Friend was made by me and Thomas. William never touched this game. Unicycle Pizza Time was made by me and Thomas. William never touched this game, only for like a little bit of playtesting once again. Forge Industry we made together, and it was a miserable situation, basically. So this is kind of our mini collective approach, but we only have 2 like real developers working on it. Maybe I'm gonna go solo at some point and we truly become a collective. And it's like, I am the supporting power basically for 2 developers. And I think that is a really interesting approach where it's almost like Thomas and William have their own mini collective. And then I am like their above like general support person. I do the accounting stuff for them. They just focus on making the game. And it's like turn those busy prototypes into full games. That is a thing. Who never touched Magical Girl Guardians? William. Magical Girl Guardians wasn't William's game. That was Thomas's game. William was working on Skogvold or Viking City Builder, and we just canceled that one, then we switched over to Overtime Anomaly. We've been doing this kind of collective model, if you can call it like that, for a while. But it's because we have that trust. It's because Thomas doesn't mind that there is an imbalance, because this is where things get messy. When you start looking at the money. Let's take a look at the last year of revenue. Unicycle Pizza Time has like disgustingly out-earned everything else. And humans are jealous. You can be like, oh, but I would never complain about them. Yeah, like Mike 10 says as well, it's an internal competition, except we're friends. So Thomas is not going to harbor, or at least he hasn't publicly acknowledged that, he's not going to harbor hate towards William for getting paid from the work that Thomas did. And then, okay, yeah, William has also made money with Overtime Anomaly and Kyoto Anomaly. And it's like you're kind of balancing all of these things out. That is something really hard to do with random people. That's why revenue shares are such a hard thing to pull off as well. Because you need to have that trust. Can you make the font bigger? I can. Sorry for your boomer eyes, Carrie. The same thing goes for Sockpop. Sockpop is 4 Dutch guys. Not guys. It's like 4 people from the Netherlands who knew each other. I think they lived together as well, from what I remember at some point. If you have that level of trust, yes, this collective model can work. If you don't, if it's just me and Mike 10, for example, and then Carrie and whatever, and we say we're all gonna make games, but then Mike releases Boba Tea Shop and re-release Kyoto Anomaly, and we split 50-50, that's gonna feel unfair. So then you get a lot of just messy stuff accounting-wise, how do you do the payout, that makes this method of Patreon, while noble, I think near impossible in real life for basically everyone who watched this video, I think. And it does bring me, I think he touched upon it at the end of the video, and I think it's actually something that I'm going to take credit for this, that I inspired him. This is kind of what the Bite Me vision was at some point. So, it's also like, what would you do if you have $1 million? Like our next game, Wheelchair Pizza Time, earns $10 million, and we don't really have to worry anymore. One of the things I consider is hey, we have a lot of game devs in our audience. Can we become kind of a micro publisher for them, where we have the Bite Me collective? And the line between publisher and collective is also kind of messy. We're we have connections, we have more knowledge about various stuff. Can we like take a developer who just makes a good game and then kind of publish them, give them the marketing support, help them with the Steam page and whatever? I don't really want to do that anymore for various reasons, but I think those are like kind of the things that he hinted at with the collective as well, of like Thomas Stewart teams up with a bunch of other Thomases, Thomas Brush, Thomas from my team, and then there's one more Thomas game dev I forgot, Lighthoof Dryden. And they start the Thomas Collective. But I think the logistics of that is just a nightmare. And then you also have creative differences. Like, a lot of game developers see game dev as an art at the end of the day as well, where they don't want to think about art. Or, like, they don't want to think about money, sorry. They just want to make the game that they want to make, which, once again, if you have, like, one business-savvy guy who makes a unicycle pizza time, and then everyone else is making 2D platformers, well, the business-savvy guy who makes the unicycle pizza time, he's going to want to get out of the collective, and the collective is inevitably going to die because they're not going to have any money anymore because everyone's making 2D platformers. So I think those are some of the big issues, you know. So yeah, John Warner Studios, it's Critical Role though that you play. Bite Me wouldn't exist without me. Let's not kid ourselves. And let's also not kid ourselves, like Bite Me wouldn't exist without Thomas or without William. If you're at such a small scale, everyone is needed. But I think I do have a pretty unique role in game development where I get a lot of shit sometimes. It's like, oh, you're not a game developer because you can't program, you can't model. But I can keep the studio afloat, which I think is also an important thing as well. Yeah, I really don't like others getting in the way of my creative ideas. I tried in the team and had to cancel. So this is also, once again, why we have that split between Thomas and William, because we did run into, like, for the industry, I think we lost a solid 4 days of dev time because we were bickering over how we were going to implement save files. We don't have that problem now anymore. Each person owns their own game. Thomas owns Age of Rot. Thomas owns Unicycle Pizza Time. William owns Maid Cafe Simulator. They make the design decisions. If they decide there's only going to be 3 saves and no more, then that's their call. They take ownership for that. And that's kind of the point from there. Doors in overtime anomaly. Great example. Thomas would have just made it interact and it opens immediately, but William was set on that more meaty interaction, and that's it. John Warner is like contracts for the win, Winky Face. Contracts, I actually don't like contracts. Because a contract only makes sense if you can enforce it. And nobody can enforce it. Not when you're a bunch of broke indie developers. You're gonna get shit. Someone's gonna run away with the money. I think we signed stuff for like Bite Me games. I think so. But like, what are you gonna do? I kind of have the same thing with sponsors. It's like, sometimes they want a contract, which is like, fine, I can do it. I've done YouTube sponsorships without contracts. Because I know realistically that I am not going to be able, as someone living in Belgium, to easily sue someone in, I don't know, the United States or whatever. Can you do it? Yes, but the amount of time and effort and things like that it's going to cost me is also not going to be worth it. Yeah, a contract is just a proxy for trust at the end of the day. But it's not something you can ever, I think, as an indie developer, like a broke indie dev, like a Bite Me viewer, you can't enforce that. If you're a real studio, yeah, you can try. But it's, I think, really hard. Nashvin is like, yeah, Marnix, but Thomas and William are your friends, right? Much easier to stay together. Yeah, exactly. That's why I think that this format, I'm not going to do like live reacts on this channel because I'm against reacting. Why I think this format doesn't work for most people. Because if 4 random people or 3 random people in our chat right now started to make a second Bite Me with that same idea of 2 programmers and then 1 like generalist like me, they don't have that trust. They don't have that friendship and shit is going to go wrong at some point. And that's it. I once did a contract job and the lead was just like, well, when he realized I was on day 3 and hadn't signed the NDA and just didn't bother asking after contract. Yeah, that's the thing indeed. Like, it's like formalities and it's kind of to be like, yes, I hereby promise that I'm going to do it. But yeah, I think a lot of games makes less sense. Commentary on this is good though. Yeah, because I think this is a very interesting topic. And the video performed well, so it means that people are interested in this, I think, as well. It's definitely something I thought about as well. but I think there are some over glorifications of this. I actually sent him a message of like, hey, I'm always down at the end of the day. I'm his most popular like podcast guest. Oh, I'm now not anymore in the top 10. Where maybe at some point we'll revisit it, do another podcast, and we can maybe dive into like just an hour of why I don't like the collective approach for most game devs. But yeah. I want to ask, from your Fundy, is like, is solo dev is pure by one person do all the jobs, or someone who's hiring outsourced workers to a small part of a job called solo dev too? That's where you get, what's it called? Manor Lords credits. This was supposedly a solo developed game. Okay? Solo dev game. Let's take a look at the credits. If it wants to load. Experiment time. Time to put everyone in Discord into a trio. It's gonna be miserable. Thank you, YouTube, for not wanting to load. You can do this. Okay. Okay, so we have a solo developed game. Let's take a look at the credits. Okay. Gregor Stiessen. Fine. Game design, programming, done by him. Extra programming. Okay, this is outsourced. Vertex animation, 3D art. Is this still a solo dev game? If you have a motion capture, if you have animation? I don't think so. This game specifically got backlash for this whole, because it was just like, there's no way. But then you get that idea of, I think, how the Manor Lords developer yeah, he got like backlash from it, and then he's like, yeah, but if I quit, the game's not gonna happen anymore. And I think that's kind of a bad way, because that's in a lot of games. If one person quits, a lot of indie games, the game is kind of over. So yeah. Why not at least put the numbers down in agreement, even though it may not be enforceable? I don't know which numbers you're talking about, Carrie, but you can still do, like, I don't know what numbers you would talk about. Like, we have equity and things like that in Bite Me. But like, also, this is something like, I don't care about my equity in Bite Me. Also, I think because I have that friendship and that trust between Thomas and William and whatever, whether I have 25% equity or 30% or 15% or whatever, I'm going to give it my all because I am in this. But that is something that you can't really do, or not as much, I feel. Or like, it's the mindset you have to have if you're a startup. But it's something that a lot of people won't have as well. Oh, revenue, etc. Skim through the live stream. Thomas, go and stop listening to me glazing you. People thought Age of Rot was miserable. Go away. Skim, for now, indeed, do not mind being the god game developer / sugar daddy for you guys. So yeah. Yeah, the Manor Lords creator tried to put some like value to it, of like a marketing hook of like this solo developed game. But then people called him out like, yeah, this is not solo developed, especially when you're like published by Hooded Horse. Thomas once again proving why he does the Ubu alert. How much would all that Manor Lords contracting also cost? Probably a few million, because generally Hooded Horse contracts don't get out of bed for less than like 1 to 3 million in publishing deals. I like the comments of this as well. So also what can be achieved by solo devs. Solo devs are so talented, but it's made by one person. Yes, my favorite solo dev indie game. Solo dev, by the way. I love this. Marnix and Thomas stream well, and Thomas just doesn't stream anymore. Thomas is the badass of Bite Me Games. Every time you do tier list, he gets rage mode. No, he just gets us cancelled. Especially with today's political climate, probably we shouldn't get him on before he says something weird. Yeah. So I think, like, watch the Thomas Stewart. Let me pull it up again. Like, if you are interested in the collective thing, I do like the video overall. I just think it missed a little bit more nuance of why it's maybe not that amazing as you may, like, as the video may seem it like it is. What do you think about Randy, by the way? I like him a lot. I think it depends on what you do. I think he's a good engine dev. I think he's a bad game dev. Yeah. So what's going on in nice view count? Yeah, it's a pretty good view count for a relatively bad time to live stream still. Yeah, the productivity dies when I'm on stream is a very big problem, Thomas, that I am realizing now as well. When I do like the busy prototype streams, I'm like, I could probably do this in half the time if I'm not live streaming. He struggles releasing games. Like, he released Terra Factor and also Demon Knives. Like, this was his game release. And it's like, good he released something, but it's like 5 reviews. It's and I think that makes it like kind of, you know, more meh. I think he's very good if you're looking at, I want to make my own engine, but I don't think he's the best if you're like, oh, this game has also never gone on discount since. Okay, only 3 out of 5 reviews are positive. Damn. Rough. Yeah, I thought you could buy Terra Factor. I haven't followed the Terra Factor development in a while. Because he like sold it separately. Like, it's still just on the Steam as just a store page. There's a patron. I don't think I can't immediately find the Terra Factor. But yeah, I thought you could buy it as well on like his itch or whatever. Yeah, on his website. I don't. Is it randy.gg? But it was like priced at $15. Terra Factor. This just goes there. Oh, he has a course? Yeah, so this is the thing that I had a call with him about this, I think, decent amount of time ago. Where he goes for engine dev and less for game dev. Apply now, sold out. Okay, yeah. So he stopped for now, but I know he used to do like some engine dev coaching program. I can't seem to find the Terra Factor demo anymore. Oh well. Have you watched the recent Thomas Brush video with Jonas Tyrell? They're actually interesting, not because of Thomas Brush, but because it's such a good from project like Thronefall. You mean the... Oh my god. I was going... Thomas, if you're here, I fucking hate you, because I pitched this idea for a live stream right before Thomas Brush made that like live stream with Thronefall and Ponty bands. And now if we do it, everyone's like, oh, you just copied Thomas Brush. But it's like, I came up with this idea before it came live, but Thomas Evers, lazy procrastinating ass, was like, oh no, I don't want to live stream because I don't like live stream or whatever. I can't find it anymore. Or was it a video? I think it maybe have been a video. Yeah, these ones, like the behind the curtain. This was stream ideas that I had for him and William. And then William kind of did it on himself for Overtime Anomaly. But I thought this should have been a duo stream as well. For Thomas and William together, because it's just more entertaining. But, you know, Thomas didn't do it. My Thomas, so yeah. I wonder if Twisted Tower will sell well. It will sell. It's like too big to fail at this point, which I think is fine. I think I enjoyed the game. I did... Oh... there was this amazing thing. His beautiful like post, I think earlier today. During optimizing, I learned turn off shadows. Disable every single mesh from casting shadows. This is how you optimize your game. And I know it's a bit better, but I just thought it was a very funny post of like, get rid of shadows and your game is gonna be good performance-wise. But I think like Twisted Tower, it's got like so many wishlists at this point. It's gonna be fine. This game is gonna sell. There's no way it's not. Basically, like almost 100,000 wishlists. Like, what more can you want? So yeah. I also don't know, does he still have like the Braveheart? Did he push the Steam page? No. He also was like working on the dog game, and then he was like, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna no. I don't think so. Braveheart. Atmos Games. It was no, it's not Braveheart. Atmos Games, dog. Brave Boy, that's it. Not Braveheart. I don't know what happened with this. Like, this looked pretty solid, but it's like 3D action adventure, so I don't know if this would sell as well as a Twisted Sour. Yeah, no, 1.3k. Yeah. Or is it like 45 lights in a scene at all costs real-time shadows? Yeah, that's basically what we did with Forge Industry as well, which I learned after release it wasn't good. Midnight Lemon, sorry. What's your recommendation for a solo dev who's a good programmer and level designer, but with no art skill nor money for assets? There's 3 assets, but you're gonna be fucked. Like, you can do some stuff with like Kenny and itch.io assets, but it's an uphill battle. Like, at some point something's gonna have to give. Either you have to dedicate a very high amount of time to learning 3D modeling yourself and go for something like PSX files, or you have to work with whatever free assets you can find. There's no like amazing solutions. So yeah, to avoid that, hey Marnix, what do you think about Notch's statement that if you don't program your own engine, you're not a programmer? Notch programming. Can I find it? Probably just gonna be this. I think it's a pretty recent post. We still have it. Search function? No, I thought there was. Notch programming custom engine. I think it's a dumb take. Yeah, this one. I think this is just an L take. Oh, ich bin Hammer, Dev. I know you. How are you? Thanks for the follow. You don't know me. Well, I guess you kind of know me because you're watching me, but I know the Dev name. If they can't... Oh, the guy... Do you know me? Yeah, you're the guy from... You post a lot online. I'm a lot online. We have a parasocial relationship. You're welcome. Thanks as well, Irtias, for the follow. If you can't make their own game engine, they're not programmers. It's like a chef who can only make a frozen pizza. And then the dude take it. Just make your own game engine is a horrible boomer/tier take. Exactly that. I think it's very questionable. I think Notch is very questionable. You know, the best way, and this is... Oh, we're gonna get controversial. I think Notch is a bit like J.K. Rowling, where we have 2 people who were massively influential for millions of young people. Millions, hundreds of millions maybe even, with Minecraft and with Harry Potter. And then, you know, they had this amazing legacy, and then they kind of went crazy with the money or with whatever, and it's just very slowly, you know, it's like J.K. Rowling. Do people still like her that much? Not really. And I think with Notch, it's kind of the same thing, where like I don't really care whether he's Notch or whether he's just some commenter on our YouTube channel, basically. Yeah, it's like you say, Sinuskist, he did everything right. He made a lot of money, but he's just taking... He's just slowly, like... He could have just had a good life and stepped, like, being good. Stayed, like, being a fond memory, basically, and that's it. So, yeah. William, I thought you said you were going to be programming and actually focusing, and now he drops in here talking about the nudge tweets. Oh well. It looks like someone put water in your vodka bottle. It is not. It's just water. Lunch break. Glad to see that you're doing my lunch break with me. Wow, we have a very solid amount of viewers, actually. 140 on YouTube. So yeah. There were some more questions. Let me go back. Okay, Matthias is like, hey, how are you? I'm doing pretty solid. That's a simple one. The free assets can be good indeed to hoard as well. But yeah, okay, no, should be fine. If I get rich, guys, I promise I won't be like Notch. One question that we got as well was from John Warner on Twitch. It's like, hey, Marnix, have you guys thought about releasing assets for Unity to supplement the studio income? So this is our Twitch, not our itch.io dashboard. We have $270 in gross revenue. Can I go to earnings? Oh, I have to watch out because there's like a thing that they are like, do not show this because it shows email of people who bought. 1 second. I want to make sure I'm not showing anything that I shouldn't show. Yeah, I don't want to show this. Okay, no, this shows everyone's email. We are not going to show that. Oh, maybe export a CSV? No. I can't really seem to easily show this. Okay, no, I think I can do this. I just don't want to... You can see here we have a bunch of assets. So we have the Chinese garden tile set and Asian pixel items. Is like 2 assets we once made. We got these commissioned for Songs of Everjade. You may recognize this if you're an OG head. We canceled that game, and the assets were standalone pretty high quality because we like got them. We just realized that we didn't have the budget to extend this asset art style and all of that to make sense. So we threw it on itch. We've made about $210 from those 2 assets. And then we've made a little bit more money from selling My Virtual Friend on itch of all places. And then we also got 1 Kyoto Anomaly sale. But okay, these 2 are less important. These same assets we put onto the Unity asset store on Fab. We sold 1 time the Chinese garden tile set on the asset store. We never sold anything else on Fab or Unity asset store. Now, this is okay. This is to be expected. Because the Unity asset store is like 3D and whatever. I know that. But we're not 3D artists. We're not going to make 3D art. So we're not going to sell it on the Unity asset store. And I think we as a studio have also very quickly decided we are not going to be making like Unity assets as like code-wise. We actually tried to do that at some point. I think are these docs still up? Yeah, we still have a doc system up for Event Forge. This was something we considered to be an asset for like very easy events in Unity. Like this is like the documentation. We never ended up publishing this because there's a very high amount of also like, you know, a 3D model asset, put on the Unity asset store, forget about it. Passive income, baby. That's not the case with code assets. You're going to get so many dumb support requests and things like that we were just like, this is not going to be worth it. And that's kind of why we decided of like, we're not going to be making assets. Yeah, making assets for codebase is literally tech support for years and you're not going to have enough money for it. Do you have to pay a one-time fee to sell assets on the Unity Asset Store or Fab? No, both of these are completely for free to just put it on there. Also, I don't like the Unity Asset Store because you need to wait like 4 months between submitting and it being put live, and it's just not worth it. It's just so annoying, basically. So yeah. The only benefit if you're using the system yourself is that you're also getting feedback for each guild. Yeah, so that's like the thing. After Kyoto Anomaly, we basically have an anomaly game asset. But we decided we're just going to keep this for ourselves. Internal use. Okay. Probably there is already an anomaly one. I don't know. Like anomaly observation framework. So this is probably, I think, an asset for like an anomaly game. Yeah, ultimate starting point for creating observation duty style games. But it's also like 7 hearts. This has sold like maybe 1 copy and that's it. It's like, it is not worth it. We just do it ourselves. We keep it internal. If you're doing 3D assets, yes, it's good, but we're not artists. So this is not gonna count for us. I don't know if William is still in chat, if he ever considered like doing stuff like this one came out recently as well, of like a kayak controller. But once again, it's like I don't feel like this is what we should be doing. Like it looks cool, but we have other fish to fry, and I think we have more high return on investment things to do than this. Ever J Destin the Godot Asset Store when? I don't know anytime soon, basically. Very specific and not trivial, yeah. Yeah, kayak game stands like streamer rage. Yeah, that's the, let me pull it up. This Rage Run Game, their whole thing is like selling systems for rage games, basically. They have like a pogo stick controller, a ski controller, a hover bike controller, whatever. I looked at this earlier and they have like a paper airplane controller. That's their whole thing. I think the kayak one may also be inspired by the paddle game. So yeah. Danny there. Greetings from the Netherlands, Zuiderbuurtjes. Leiden represents. The only Leiden I'm doing is afleiden. So yeah. I'm gonna... you guys, Jeroxia, you know what time it is, right? If you're in chat, tell me what time it is. You know what time it is. It's time for me to quickly shill, because we have a bunch of people watching. If you want to support us, there is a very easy way to do that. It's prime time. Who is this guy? Shut the fuck up. I can say that to myself. If you want to support us, there's a very easy way to do that. If you support Jeff Bezos and the cutting of the Amazon forest, you can also support Bite Me Games. What this means is if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can link it to your Twitch account. And then you can go to our Twitch, and there's this thing here. Get a monthly free sub with Prime Gaming. So completely for free, you can subscribe. There will be like a checkbox once it's linked. You check it, use the Prime sub. We get a few dollars for free. You do nothing. You can watch ad-free on Twitch, I think is a benefit as well. Basically, you support us. If you're not really using your Twitch Prime sub anyway, why not use it on us? That's basically the whole thing. If you do it, you get a shout out of me. Like, hey, thanks for the Prime sub. So that is over on Twitch. Can I actually do this? Oh, well, this is not going to work. Twitch. I also don't know if this is going to work. You can just go to twitch.tv/games. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, if you want to just... Or if you like Twitch in general, that's also a thing as well. LOL, I was a little worried when you opened the in-private browser, but totally worth the sub. I'm happy that you enjoy it. We're not going to show weird stuff on stream. That's like one of the things. One day, maybe. Oh, Kunasin, thanks for the Prime sub. You know how it works. Thank you very much. One day, I want to do a live stream or something, or maybe William wants to do it. He'd probably be down as well, where we play our viewers adult games. Because there are, at this point, a decent amount of adult viewer games for like our viewers. But it's like, yeah, we're not doing that on Twitch or YouTube. And I think Kick also doesn't allow it, so it has to be like a free Patreon stream or whatever. But it's something that we considered at some point. Oh yeah, the content we deserve. Crowstar is getting his horny on. I feel like it's also going to be incredibly awkward. Use Pictaro? What is Pictaro? I have no idea what Pictaro is. But based on the current... Oh, is it a live streaming platform for adult games? We'll see. Markiplier played a few on YouTube. Yeah, but I don't want to... Like, he has an edited video, right? I want to just do it live. I don't want to edit this shit. So, yeah. Why would Twitch restrict NSFW games when there's a pool category in Twitch? Because there's no nipple. That's it. So, yeah. I'm thinking, do I have... Oh, yeah. I have the other list as well. What's the... plan with the Godot. There are so few. Can you upload assets, or is it just gonna say you can't upload assets right now? Do you need like an account? I don't know. I don't mind throwing the OnlyFans stream. Like OnlyFans does. There was a viewer once that I talked to. They made an adult-only game, and they did do part of their promotion through OnlyFans, like letting OnlyFans like variety content creators also stream their games on OnlyFans. But I think it's very limited subgenre, very limited audience as well. So yeah. Story is very much beta and incomplete. I think they should have cooked a little bit longer. Yeah, maybe. Let me close some of my tabs. So yeah, Hightail. Hey, at least they're still looking for a principal engineer somehow. I think they're gonna remove that soon. Sockpop, Brave Boy, Assets, Randy, Notch. Should all be fine. What am I looking at here? Oh, one of the anomaly games from the Steam NextFest demos. Curious for this one. I reached out to the guy. I don't know how I feel. I reached out to the guy. I'm like, hey, yo, you want to bundle with me? And he's like, yeah, let's consider it. And then like I look at it the next day, and he's like reaching out to like all of these top like super popular Rage games. I'm like, hey, you want to bundle with me? So I feel like I just put him on the idea of doing a bundle, and then he was kind of like, fuck it, I'm not gonna do these unicycle boys. Let me see if I can get like, it wasn't like chained together, but like the top tier like Rage games basically. So we'll see if we do the bundle, yes or no, and how it goes from there. Thank man, I do not know what that means. I'm too young. Yeah. Okay. What did I want to pull up? Oh, I found this one a funny one as well. This is now a Byte stream. This game. I was planning a video on our Patreon, which is amazing, and you should join if you want to get more in-depth content. I'm going to plan a video, I think either this week or next week it's going to come out, of like how to approach Kickstarter in 2025. And I was doing like a research and I found this. This just came out basically. They got 300,000 euros and now they're canceling. Like the company has gone into bankruptcy. It's a French company, so it doesn't exist anymore basically. And nobody's getting refunds. The money is just gone. And the TLDR of this is that basically they did the campaign and it made it seem like they were getting the entire game, like funding. And then turns out in the long description, they basically just got the 300k to then make a vertical slice to then find publishers. And they didn't say that before. So basically they spent all the money on making a demo and they're not even going to release the demo now. Because they're like, oh yeah, we can't do it anymore because the company's bankrupt, so we can't get it onto Steam and whatever. Which is once again, the summary is basically of I guess they do. Okay, whatever. The summary is basically get fucked. We took your money. Typical French stuff, and that's it. So Kickstarter, I don't really recommend it. I think there's a lot of problems with Kickstarter. I think this was just a very funny recent thing to pull up as well. It kind of happened. You can at least release a demo. Yeah, but it's like... but they already made the milestone reach the end. It's about timeline development. It's also about like nobody wanted to fund this. Because that's the problem as well. Let's take a look actually at this. Of like all of these extra things. Okay, some of these are fine. Like battle management system. English voice acting for 50k extra, Japanese voice acting for 20k extra. Depending on how long the game is, this may actually not be enough money. So that's why a lot of publishers don't like taking up games that got kickstarted initially. Because if a publisher now has to come in and be like, okay, yeah, let's publish this game, they have to make sure that they are going to be responsible for all of their pledges and like all of the rewards and actually making sure these happen. And they have to do the Japanese voice acting because it's been promised now. Whereas a publisher, if you did this behind closed doors, you made the demo or whatever, you go to the publisher and be like, yeah, we're not going to do Japanese voice acting. It's going to be way more expensive and it's not going to be worth it. It's just 20,000 euros wasted or whatever. And that's why it's so incredibly hard to get anything publishing deal-wise after a Kickstarter. What you see instead is the opposite, which I think is just as slimy and dirty. This is evil to say. But like Stray Fawn is a publisher. And I think it's River Towns. River Towns Kickstarter. This game is out now. 24th of March it came out, yeah. And still, they... Can I see like when they went live? 11 updates. So funding periods, it's gone now. It said something, okay. So when was the first update? Welcome to our Kickstarter. This was December. This was 6 months ago. They started the Kickstarter and they released it 3 months later. They released the game after the Kickstarter. 3 months. And it's like, at what point? Kickstarter is just a gamified marketing tool right now, just to get a little bit more money out of it. Because if you're 3 months from release, this 20,000, this 10,000 euro goal is not going to be the difference. Especially when you look at a Stray Fawn publishing size. I think they do the Wandering Village as well. Is it Stray Fawn? They have some big deals. They have some big budget and whatever. Stray Fawn publishing, yeah. Like, lifetime revenue, 18 million. Average revenue per game, 2 million. And then it's like, oh, we're asking for 10,000. The only reason they're asking for 10,000, I guess I'm going into rant mode now, is just so they can get the extra publicity of this cozy game just smashed 100% of their funding goal in less than 24 hours. They did not need more cash. There's no fucking way when you make $2 million a game that you need 10,000. This is like 2 employees or whatever for 1 month and all of that. Another issue with Kickstarter is if they send you Steam keys, don't count for the Steam algorithm. That's exactly true as well. Ich bin Hammer. It's what we discovered as well with like early funding. Yeah. There's questionable stuff. Kickstarter also promotes projects that are past 100% funded way more. Yeah, Zor. This is basically like, you pay to market the game more, which I think is like, from the publisher's perspective, I feel like they must have celebrated. It's like, oh my god, we got these suckers to pay for our marketing. Because like, what do they have? Like, more challenge levels? Ooh, there's a typo in here. That's awkward. Like a level editor. And it's like, you're telling me that they implemented all of this in less than 3 months? It's like, no, there's no way. There's no way. What are we doing here? So yeah. Now I'm actually curious, what did they do as the risks here? What were the reasons? We understand we are seasoned teams with meticulously planned every aspect to adhere to strict budget and timelines. So basically there's no explanation of what the potential risk would be. And this is the game that got cancelled. Our extensive network for our ability to deliver on our promises. Funny, but no. Yeah, physical copy. This is not happening. But yeah, if you look at it, it's a 3 by... Like, this is a 14-person team? Yeah, 14-person team in France. Let's pull out the calculator. So let's say in France, I think a fair wage would be like 2,500. This is a low end, I think, already. So this is what they're running every month in just employee costs of wage. No, this is wrong because they have to pay 30% extra. So if you get 2,500 like paid as the company, like you have to pay like, let's say they pay 4,000 a month for every employee in like taxes and whatever. They have 6 months of dev time that they get out of this as well. And I feel like this is something, I don't know where I read this, but game development feels like it's kind of going to either of 2 extremes. Either you're that little solo dev game and you just self-fund the entire thing. Or you get the giant hooded horse funding or whatever, and you have a big team and whatever. But I think that middle ground of like an 8 to 12 or whatever size team, and then you get like maybe 1 million in funding or whatever, which is a pretty high amount for a mid-level publishing deal, I would say, is just slowly dying out because it's becoming more unsustainable with like the cost, especially like once again, France is not a cheap country, cost of living wise, that it just becomes so hard to make that middle-sized game working. Which is maybe good for us, solo devs, because we can do a lot of stuff with just like a year of time and very little like upfront costs, maybe like a few $1,000 on assets and that's it. But yeah, I think like these styles of games, it's just not happening anymore, or way less. Uzabi, are you actually going to Gamescom to find a publisher, or why are you going? I didn't ask this in the Discord, but now that you're here, you did remind me of it. Because it also depends on where you live. That's the thing. I had this talk with like some Indonesian game devs before, and it's like they were making their game in Indonesia. Like they had 12 people in their studio or whatever, and they could get away with like a 200,000 publishing deal for 12 people for like a year plus dev cycle, because they have that arbitrage of not living in like the US or whatever, where you also see game dev studios who for some reason decide to move to LA. They're gonna, I think game dev in America and like Europe to a certain degree is becoming more and more unsustainable because of those higher costs. So it also depends, Zabi, where in Europe do you live? We are from Poland. Okay, so you're from the expensive part of Eastern Europe. Because then, like, you know, 2-person studio, say you're getting like you can get that game a realistic number is like 200,000, which is for a lot of publishers still a relatively low end. But if you get 200,000 euros in publishing, you're gonna be fine. I don't know how much that is in Polish zloty. 200k euro to like 850 whatever. I feel like these are numbers that publishers can pretty easily have still, from my experience. Like up to the 250,000 or like dollar or euro range is pretty normal for standard publishing deals. Generally, you won't find much under 50k. Like the cheapest you will go is 50k usually, because otherwise it's just not worth it for most publishers, unless they do like some weird deal where they only do like marketing or whatever, but they don't really fund most of the stuff. Yeah. If you want a decent developer here in Austria, he would cost me 70,000 euros per year. I think that's still pretty cheap even, Ich bin Hammer. Whereas for that same price, you can basically rent like... It's kind of why I'm in Japan as well. Because it's like... Oh, it went down again. Like, this currency is so disgustingly strong for us right now, where the company pays me 1,000, Bite Me Games, my wage is 1,410 euro. So it's like $1,600. This is what I earn. This is below minimum wage in Belgium. I don't mind. I still have runway. I can do this. This is fine. This is sustainable for me right now. This is not livable in Belgium for the most part. Like, I go groceries and 100 euros disappears at this point. And I eat beans and toast and rice. And that's it, basically. My biggest expense is chicken breast. And that's it. Whereas this, which is far below minimum wage. I think minimum wage in Belgium at this point is like over 2,000 euros a month. It's like, I am earning more than my girlfriend. I am earning more than like the median Japanese salary and things like that. And that is like the thing where for that same price as like one dude in Austria, you can have 2 Japanese programmers, or from anywhere else you want to be. It doesn't have to be Japan. And I think then the like financials get more tricky of like, is that Austrian dev gonna be twice as good? Maybe, maybe not. There are benefits. You are local, you have time zones and whatever. But there is a certain scale as well. We did a video about this basically. Tokyo Underground Killer, where here, this one. I spent the day with a Japanese indie studio. And this guy, he's German. And he just moved to Japan. He worked in Japan for a bunch of times, like an Unreal artist and whatever. Can I find it? Like him. And I think their studio is like 12 people or something as well. And it's just so much cheaper. He basically got all of the expats who worked at like the Japanese companies, and they just started their own company. And it's actually sustainable, even by having less contracts and whatever, because they can just out-earn, or like not out-earn, but like price so much lower than for example, a German team. And it's like, is the quality that much different? No. So yeah. Yeah, my friend who lives in Japan and works at quite back tech firm earns 70,000 yen a month. How much? That's nothing, right? Yeah, but you can kind of live on this. This is very sad life, but it is very sad. Also, our game will be on Gamescom this year. Oh, I thought you were just. You should know by now if you're gonna have a booth. I feel. Yeah. Belgium is like the US, then to a certain degree. Like, the US is still worse. I think the US is still the most expensive place in the world, basically, for game dev. But Belgium is very high up there as well. I lived under 200 euros a month sometimes in China. Yeah, it's things like that as well. It's kind of livable. Because for this, especially if you get like a roommate or a girlfriend or whatever, you can sustain. Oh, publisher booked a place for us, but we haven't signed it. Oh, you're in the publisher talks. Interesting, interesting. Scotland is pretty good. I'm living way cheaper than in London. I think also going from London makes your life a big difference as well. It's great working for a Belgian bank and living in Eastern Europe. Yeah, that's the benefit we do have. And it's like, you see this with other devs. What's the... Oh, there's this other game devlogger. I forgot his name. He made like Balloons Tower Defense. Oh, his name. I'm not gonna find it. He's like famous. Not like famous, but like 100k plus subscribers. And then he moved to Thailand, shaved his hair, and became a self-improvement YouTube channel. But yeah. I can't find it anymore. It's called Balloons. But yeah, but it's not... It was a game about like balloons and tower defense. It was kind of like a rip-off of it. But I can't seem to find it. No. I thought it was this. Well... First world country struck for survivals in indie game. Yeah, it's like also you look at things like yeah, hate to dog on the guy at this point because it's just kind of sad. But what's it called? Crop pollution. Crop pollution. Stuff living. Canada. Like you need for like a family of 4 is about 7,700 Canadian dollars a month. I don't know if this is true or not. Crop pollution made 2.3k US, which is like 5k Canadian, let's say. Like you're not surviving that basically. Thanks for the follow as well, Sumatras Twitch. It's also not cakes. Like yeah, it's not cakes. It's like I forgot it. It's some game dever. Maybe I can find it. Game dev self-improvement. I feel like I'm only going to find myself, actually. I want to know now. I've watched some of it. No. It was like flexing the guy. Nobody knows it, I feel, anymore. He stopped doing devlogs. Didn't Crop Pollution have a lot of wishlists? It didn't. It had like 600 or something on release. I don't think so, actually. How much does it have now? Yeah, 1.1k now, but yeah. I found living in Canada to be pretty cheap, but I was in Montreal. That's the real cost. Yeah, the hustle culture guy of game dev. Not sure. Got no idea. Damn it. Maybe I can find him in Discord history because I talked about him before. No, let me find a game dev YouTuber tier list. Someone else made a tier list and then we started talking shit on him here. No. It's this Super Ita. Yeah. It's mentioned in here. It was not you, Dev Red Games, I'm sorry. It's Star. It's Brian's track. This is him. So, come on, we're gonna load. Yeah, so this is the dude. He made Bloons Tower Defense. So I was doing Bloons Tower Defense. I knew it. And then he made a second channel. I don't know if I can find it from here. Called like Brian. So this guy was a pretty successful devlogger, I would say. Just 126k. Oh, he's uploading again. Ah, okay. Can I find... find this. Geert Verhoef, thanks for the sub as well. Something of like losers. No. Maybe he deleted his channel. No way. I think if I find losers, Brian, no. Maybe he did get rid of it and he's back to game dev. I can find it, I think, because I sent a link on Discord once. Search for Brian. Yeah. Okay, I got the link. Does this channel still exist? Oh, he got rid of everything. Okay, so he did get out of the self-improvement hellhole. He started with videos like this. This was a screenshot I still have of like a second channel, kind of like Bite Me, and it started like with pretty normal things. I think he did delete his channel or like delete all videos. But after this, basically, he just went into like full, the general hustle culture of like business, whatever, if you know channels like Hamza and whatever, kind of like that. And it seems like he kind of realized it wasn't going anywhere, because now he's back on making Roblox games.
In this video, this blank project.
So this is kind of funny because he was like very, ultra masculine, and now we're back to the Roblox minds. But he moved to Thailand. This is where all of this comes down to. He got like some decent money from his game, and then moved to Thailand, and then went full on self-improvement, and now he made a Roblox game, which I think is pretty funny, all in all. But yeah. In my case, best roads in the world, top 3 water quality from tap, happiest children globally. That's what I paid tax for. I think Netherlands is still pretty okay as well. It's just I have nothing. Oh, volcanic. I know a downside. Your apartments come without floors when you try to rent something for some reason, which is, I will never get over that. When I was considering moving to Amsterdam for my job before COVID, and it's like, what do you mean? I have to pay extra if I want a floor in my apartment? So yeah. Thoughts about Hightail being cancelled? I talked about it earlier in the stream. Ioen, what is Ioen? I never followed it that much, honestly. But it's like, if something takes this long to develop, it's like, it's gonna die at some point. I don't know why exactly it happened. But I know they were also like exhibiting at Develop Brighton when I went there last year. And it's like, okay, yeah. But it's also like, if it's the problem of timing. It's like, does Hightail really matter when you have like this came out recently? I think like Bitcraft Online, when the amount of games coming out. Okay, this is kind of different. There's another one. It's not Bitcraft. There was some other Minecraft-like game that came out recently. Foxile, I think it was it. Like, there's so many like Minecraft-likes coming out now that something like a Hightail, I think, is just gonna have a very rough wow, this game did not perform. This game did not perform well. I think a Hightail would just be too late now if it comes out. I think they were redoing the engine and probably lost in some scope creep, and yeah. So, like, it would have been good if it came out, like, 7 years ago, when people still cared, but I think now it's like, we've got Grow a Garden. What else do you want? Furkan as well, from Italy. Did you enjoy your pasta? No, that's something I shouldn't say. Vintage Quest. Is it on Steam? Because I know there's a lot of, like, probably not. There's a lot of, like, you know, .io games and a lot of mobile games. Like, you don't find many Minecraft clones on Steam. Because that's not really where most of them are. Vintage Store. Yeah, this looks very, like, Minecraft-y as well. I think I've actually seen this at some point. Yeah. Like, a lot of these are just other platforms, basically. Those were the main topics I had, I think, for today's stream, boys and girls, lads and lasses. What else do you want to talk about? What else do you want to know my thoughts on? My wisdom. Oh, no, I have one more thing. If my prototype has 27 FPS in Steam Deck, am I doomed? Is it too demanding? I think you can probably optimize it a bit still. Steam Deck is not super miserable. But it is definitely demanding then. Depends on what style of game. Is it a 2D platform? What are you doing? But it probably isn't. I'm going to Bit Summit. I don't expect any of you guys going to Bit Summit, but I will be making videos there. And they announced the games, basically, that are going to be at Bit Summit. And there's a lot of these that I kind of know. So Building Relationships. It's a building dating game. It's kind of funny. I spoke to this dev before, Danshi Days. I spoke to this before. This is like a mixed Japanese-English. The Liminal Void is a viewer and Patreon. So I can make videos with them. There's also some more, like for example, the old heads. There's a game called Lo-Fi Room by Bearmont Studios, and then also Rhythm Rabbit. I've made videos actually on these guys. Like, this was a very bad performing video. But it's a very old one. Like, a very, very old one. Am I gonna find it even? Let Me Games Japanese Convention. No. Give me a second. I'm gonna find a video. I think it's like 300 views. It's one of our least viewed videos ever. Let's sort by oldest. And then I think it's gonna be not here. Here, this one. 962 views. This was a miserably performing video. Wow, look at me. So fleek. So here, this is the guy who made the Rhythm Rabbit. Luminous Realms, Yaya Dambus. I'm gonna probably meet him as well. And then the Lo-Fi Room. Like, this was 2 years ago. It's like, these are kind of, you know, do I go back and make a video with them? But then it's like, okay, how do I make interesting videos, and what would be like things that you care about? Because I don't want to just go and like talk with Danshi Days about like, why did you want to make this game? I want to find something interesting for you guys, the viewers, as well. But I'm not really sure about what would be things that you would want to see other indie devs' opinions on to begin with, basically. So if you have any thoughts about it, like one video I was planning on doing it's like with the Liminal Void, is kind of like joining his booth for like a few hours and to give you like a showcase of like, this is what it's like to run a booth at like a convention, basically, of like, oh, you have to talk with people, whatever, you have to showcase these things that can go wrong, this is what you prepare, whatever. That was like a video idea I had. Spicy game dev opinions, I don't know. I'm kind of looking for games like the one we did with dude from Minami Lane. I think that was a really good one, but there was a clear reason of being from I think it was a pretty popular forming one, actually. I'm just gonna look up most recent because it's not that old of a video. Here, like this one was with dude. It was at one of these conventions, basically, and we just stood at this booth and we talked about making small games. And I think this was a video, 13,000 views. People like this, and I kind of want to find more stuff that you guys want, but I'm not really sure what you guys want, basically. Interview games devs there, what they do for a living or their backgrounds. I think most of them are going to be like game development. Yeah. There are like some very unique games. Oh, I think I played this one already once before. There are so many dumb, like, yeah, I played this. This is such a stupid game. It's like an interesting topic. There are like certain games that only sell in Japan and that only Japanese people would want. This is a game where you as a cat have to run through shoji doors. What you're seeing right now is the entire gameplay. You're a cat and you jump through paper walls and you just dodge like the trapdoors. This is the entire game. And it's like such a Japanese thing of making this a fully developed game and then trying to sell this. Industry insights that show what people want. I think Japan is a very bad place for that. Because Japan is still a very artsy place as well. I like hearing about creative process. I think that could be an interesting one. To maybe just talk about like, why do you want to make this game? Why do you believe in this game? Why do you do all these things? Like, this is like a game about like community housing in Japan and whatever. And then like pixel art stuff. So yeah, I'll see what I do. I think the industry trends and all of that, there's got to be Gamescom and DevCom. This is very much more of an artsy convention, whereas Gamescom and DevCom in August, that's going to be more about the business and money and publisher funding and all of that so as well. Yeah. Not sure it really matters for all us indie devs sitting in rooms on our own. Just seeing other devs in a vid or showcasing their game work is a big boost worth watching. Get a pick with Kojima. I don't think Kojima is going to go to Bit Summit, and if he is, I am not going to get anywhere near him before I get tackled by his security, probably. So yeah. Any new tech they've started using in the last year. My dude, half of Japan runs on Game Maker 2 and pixel art. I wouldn't expect too many new tech. I think there are some, it's like a cancelled video I once did of like the differences between Japanese games and like Western ones. Half of the Japanese games still coming out are pixel art, even more. And the other art are just like, also like 2D games, which is a very big difference compared to the West, where 2D is kind of losing a lot of stuff. What is this game? Sausage Legend Arena. What are we? These are such... What are... Seamus, shut up, because I already know you're gonna say something inappropriate about a game about What are these games? This is what I mean. This is so vague. This is so weird that Nerve Gen Speeds even like writes about it. It's like, what is this? What are their faces? It's just people slapping sausages at each other. What did I just return on? Japan is not too big on Steam. Japan is pretty limited on Steam. I think most of these games come out on Switch and things like that as well. Yeah. Harder sausage is getting crushed. Lesson learned. Don't get hard. Do you still have full-time developers for your studio? We never did, Schnoffy. I am full-time, and we have one other programmer that's full-time, and that's it. There's a dev that needs to do some self-search. There's a dev who definitely needs to cut down on the action. There's a lot of weird games on here. Maybe that could be like a fun one of just like the weirdest games to make you feel better about your own bad games. This was another one where like you represent prefectures in Japan, and like it's a 2D platformer. It looks miserable, basically. But for some reason, this is like Japan loves this still. This is a free Unity skybox. I recognize this. This is the trail. I have no idea what I watched, but it's basically just a 2D platform with like some Japanese things. Do you think it makes sense to pay the 2K so you can port all your game catalog to PS5, Xbox, and Switch? So we actually just ordered the Switch 1 dev kit. Because the Switch 2 dev kits are still not available. We want to port to consoles. I think... I don't have a good idea, though, how much, like, a Kyoto anomaly and an overtime anomaly, those would be the first 2 games we port. I don't know how good they're going to sell, basically. That's the big problem that I'm not sure about. So, yeah. Should start working on a stroopwafel disc golf game to join the weird trend. And yeah. Ask them to mention a weirder game than theirs. Oh, there's going to be some weird stuff then. So yeah. I think I'll see. I think there are some interesting things, definitely. I can probably throw out a video or two about Bit Summits. Yeah. You're only playing on Switch for now. Probably Switch first. And then at the same time do like Xbox and PlayStation. We have dev kits for them all. You're working on porting 15 minutes to Xbox. Yeah, we have the dev kits as well. We just haven't, because it's like, do we stop development on Maid Cafe or on Age of Rot to port it? It's kind of a time thing. Do you always need a dev kit for PS5 and Xbox? Yes, you do, but both of them are free. You just need to get accepted to it. There's a really good video on our Patreon where, you know, let's see if I can find it. Search console. If you want to know about the process of getting access, getting started with console porting, our Patreon talks about the indie programs. You can see the pitch we had to give to Sony Interactive Entertainment and all of that. So there's some more information on there. Do I break NDAs? For legal reasons, I have to say nope. But yeah. How do you sustain two full-time developers? It doesn't seem to be a full-time seller for 2 people, so I'm just worrying. Okay. At least you show face, which is a good benefit. We have YouTube. I feel like that should be a kind of obvious one. Honestly, we... Fake fan. Bite Me Games earnings. We talk about this in... Here. Breakdown of expenses and revenue for a game studio in 2024. Here we go. This is everything that we spent money on. Do I have a graph on everything that we made money from? Here. This is everything we made money from. Steam sales is only about 30%. YouTube is a bunch. Patreon is a bunch. This is now way bigger, I would say. The Steam sales pie is, I think, now 50%. No, not 50. 40% or something. It's going up. Because here... This was only a few months of Unicycle Pizza Time. We've released 3 more games since Unicycle Pizza Time now. And Unicycle Pizza Time got a very big boost as well in... what is it? In January. What's the average salary in Bite Me? I talked about it earlier. We right now get paid 1,410 euros a month, which is way below... minimum wage, but it also means we don't have to pay any tax. This is like the number the accountant gave us of like, pay yourself this much. It's the best you can do without having to just pay a lot of taxes. The average, like the minimum wage in Belgium now is over 2,000 euros a month. I do live on beast. I just moved to Japan and now I live good, is what it comes down to. So yeah, Patreon is such a big chunk. Did not expect it. Well, you clearly have not seen the Patreon and all of the good content we have on our Patreon. So yeah. Is Forge Industries still selling some copies? It is. Did you do any marketing for Unicycle Pizza Time? Yes, we did. And hi, Trupen. I mentioned this before. If you want to know how we marketed Unicycle Pizza Time, Bite Me Games, YouTube. No, not YouTube. Bite Me Games. YouTuber marketing. There's a video he did. Rida, watch this one. This one. How we spent $0 on marketing a game and sold thousands of copies. That's all you're looking for. Back to looking like you're working. Fijne avond daar. Geniet nog van je dag. Volcanic as well. What's next for the prototyping sessions, John Warner? I'm not sure. Either I'm gonna do more prototypes. I have some ideas maybe. Or I'm gonna keep digging out the Survivor like. Both are options. It's exhausting to do art and development. Yeah, art is miserable. We just gave up on doing art. It's assets. That's it. So physical sales here in this case meant when we went to conventions and we sold Forge Industry copies. And Forge Industry, someone asked, is still selling. Not a terrible amount though. If we go and take a look at the last 1 month, like this is a good number. Like this is a decent number actually, because it was with a game release. Forge Industry is our least selling game. It's something, but not really. My virtual friend is out earning Forge Industry at this point, but I think also there's a reason for that, because Forge Industry just isn't. Forge Industry isn't a great game anymore. So yeah. Do you think YouTuber streaming has been essential? Streaming, not at all, because streaming we only started doing once our YouTube was already pretty big, and the streaming, like, it makes us some money, but honestly, like, I just enjoy doing this as well. I like streaming because it's like I can do this after I already worked all day, because this is not tiring for me. It's just me and the boys chilling and building up the parasocial relationship. We get some money from the Twitch subs and whatever, but it's like it's $100 a month or whatever. It's not really worth it, because if you look at this, like, in the last week, we basically still earn the same almost passively from our game sales as we do from the Twitch streams. The only exception to this is the bet streams, because we have like dono goals. But on the other hand, we kind of try to limit those, because, you know, we have to make them fun. YouTube did help. There's no way not to say this, basically, because YouTube gave us sponsorship money, gave us Patreon, but those Patreons don't come for free. I work a lot for those Patreons. The Patreon takes a lot of time. There's a lot of great value on it. That's why we do it. And that's why Patreon, I think, is so much of the total value as well, because there is a lot of great content of it. If you want to see my bootleg Chris Zukowski impression...
Hey there, I am bootleg Chris Zukowski, and today we're going to be talking about...
It's just like a half-hour video diving into how the Steam NextFest works and all of that. These things still take time and effort, and I think this is one of those things that you can only do if you, like us, don't have just one person working on the team. If it was just me and I also had to make games and I also had to do all of this, it's not going to happen. That's the benefit, going back to the collective thing of like splitting the load a bit, where Thomas and William, they just focus on developing and I focus on everything else. I focus on the accounting, I focus on the invoicing, I focus on doing level design, UI design, whatever. Everything that they're not good at, they can kind of offload to me. And that's basically it. What game is good to make now? Co-op games. Oh, can I find this? Friendslop, Friendlike. This was the... I don't think this is going to be the post I'm looking for. Oh, here. Some dudes made like this. I think these are genres that currently do perform pretty good. I think these definitions are pretty bad. But yeah, the Friendslop is like you just work together. It's very replayable. And it does perform really well. Let me take a look. Or Interactive, the publisher that specializes basically in upcoming games, Roadside Research, 1 to 4 player co-op game, pretty simple. Oh, is this the same asset that we play? Yeah, this is just a very standard asset, and they turned this into a game. They made a few custom models, 100k wish lists. Easy. Let me take a look. Cost station. Because I think another one of our viewers actually used, this exact same asset. If you ever feel bad about your life, just know that this studio spent $60 on an asset. and made 100K in a wish list from it. And of course, they did more than that. They got a good marketing strategy, but they focused on these, like, this is the whole bread and butter of this publisher, or Interactive, basically. Hyper viral, marketable games where we design for marketing first and gameplay almost second. Now, of course, you can't design for gameplay second because it needs to be a good game. But by having it co-op gas station simulator with a twist of aliens, it's like, yeah, Roadside Resources earned 100,000 wish lists. It's kind of, you know, using your unfair advantages. This is what Steam wants right now. Can I get like a, yeah, so you see like soft drinks, everything like that. We go back to the screenshot, soft drinks. Like, it's almost the same. Bar for bar, they just slapped in the gameplay, and that's it. I am developing a survival horror game. I'm having trouble marketing. I can't collect wish lists. Can you recommend me some events that I could participate in to receive it? I think events is not going to be like you have the Steam Screamfest. I think it may just be a gameplay issue. I don't know your game, but I think you're going to have bad visuals, bad capsule, bad copy. Or you haven't tried marketing to YouTubers yet. So yeah. Moonlight Madness and Hungry Ghost Festivals. I didn't know either of them. They found a way to be consistent. Yeah, so like this studio, Cybernetic Walrus, also is like, you know, a bit more. They're a big studio, and I remember they've had to let people go. I remember back when we went to Unity Unite 2023, I think. I met some of the people there. Because Cybernetic Walrus, they're Dutch. They're from Belgium as well. They're from Antwerp. I've met them before. And there were like some people I recognized, and I'm like, "Hey, how's the event going?" I'm like super excited, and like one of the employees from there, like his face was just like dark and sad. I'm like, "Yeah, we just had some layoffs," and I was like, "Ho ho ho! I just meant Unity Unite, please, thank you very much." They weren't doing great, and they kind of had a rebrand recently with Order 13. Was also once again kind of a game, very short dev cycle, made to be influencer friendly marketing and whatever. You have a cat, pretty standard anomaly survival horror game. It worked. This was made in I think 3 months with like a team of, I would say, like 7 professional developers and the marketing budget thrown behind it. Did had a return on investment. Is had a publisher apparently. Oh, the public Trillhounds was the console porting, if I remember correctly. And now they're basically... But this is game development from the perspective of we have a studio and we don't want to fire more people. And that's a difference as well. Meanwhile, Twisted Tower needs 4 years to get 100k wishlists. And that's still a good result for years to get 100k wishlists. Can't understand how it's possible the game like this, Store Manager, dig a hole sim, and Schedule 1 gets the 100k wishlist easily when Polished Games gets 400 wishlists. It's because you're making games that nobody wants. Doesn't matter how polished it is, nobody wants it. You can also make cute games that get a lot of wishlists. Like, for example, same publisher, Easy Delivery Co. This is at like 125,000 wishlists. And this is, you know, what most of our audience would call like cute indie PSX style graphics and whatever. You just drive around in a K car, you deliver some stuff, basically all of that. Have a demo, once again, or interactive. Put some stuff on it, solo developed. This is not what you would call soulless. Still gets 125k wishlist and all of that. So yeah, with a short dev time like that, they need to have a marketable game first, gameplay second. Exactly. That's actually, I recorded a video earlier today. Like talking a bit more about small scope games, and I talk in that about as well of like you need to start with marketing because you're going to fight an uphill battle with short dev cycles. You only have a few shots. You have one shot with content creators, maybe you have a demo, maybe you have a NextFest. That's basically it. So your game needs to be very marketable from the beginning. And yeah, with the gas station thing, how do you feel about it? I don't know. It's assets. People clearly don't care because it's got 100k wish lists. Well, let's just see if the rest of the game stacks up. And yeah, I do like assets. I think there's a lot of cool assets. And a lot of cool games you can make with these assets. So yeah. You can do a lot with it, I would say. You get the lookout tower, you get this, you can probably make... I think there already like exist some games about it. But you can do a lot of cool stuff. I think, with assets, and it's also the way we do it at the end of the day. I like buying assets more than making games with them. I like not even just buying them, but just looking at assets is like my favorite pastime thing. Look at, okay, what are some new assets? And can I imagine making a game with this? So I just go 3D environments, new releases in last month. It's like, okay, this is a cute asset. Could I envision myself making a game with this? Okay, this one probably not. But like some of these, probably, yeah, I could see myself make a game with like, I don't know, the retro police station or industrial submarine environment. Okay, this is a pretty cool one. Yeah, you could make probably a pretty cool game with this asset. And then just like imagining that, basically. That's like my favorite thing. Not even buy it. Just think about it. This is actually a very cool assets. I could see myself making a game with this. This gives me like that kind of overtime and only vibe. This is a very good horror game. Put some fog and some sounds and whatever. Yeah. Can a collective like Sockpop, which have a subscription for the game, also list on Steam? Didn't Steam have something that the price needs to match? It doesn't need to be 100% exact. It's kind of a case-by-case basis. I think for the most part, Steam doesn't really enforce it. But yeah. So many possibilities, but again, it needs to be a marketable game idea. I think you can make a marketable horror game out of this. Like a short-scoped psychological horror game could fit in here. I'm not sure what I would do exactly, but like, once again, I think you could make something cool. You can make it URP, HRP. 4K textures linked to the package. Yeah, so this is a very big thing, I guess, then. Yeah, this is like a horror-ready asset almost. Asset name, please. Fuck, there goes my chance to make an asset with this asset pack. Browsing the asset sorting is very inspiring. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do, honestly. Because then you see cool stuff like this, and it's like, okay, I could make a game about this. All your prototypes are 3D games. What's your opinion about 2D games? We don't do 2D games because we don't have 2D art skills, and I don't like working with 2D asset packs. I think working with 3D asset packs is a lot better because you can do things like animations way more easily, and I think there's more choices that like kind of fit together. That's the reason why we don't do 2D. It's just an experience thing. I know how 3D works at this point, so that's basically it. Or a co-op game where you pilot your submarine. I think this is too unrealistic of a submarine, basically. Because it's like not an action. You could make your own hallways, basically, because this seems to be pretty modular. But I think this wouldn't work as well for a co-op game. Hey, Kasha as well. Actually, that reminds me, Kasha. I'm gonna call you out. I mean, it's not really call you out. I want your opinion, because I do read the comments of you. Let me pull you up. You commented on this one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, here. This is you. I really like the stream idea. Was there ever something like this? I just think it would be more fun with less vibe coding. Sorry, Marix, but when things don't work for like an hour because busy content with bugs, it gets boring. Maybe we're getting some more community decisions during the prototypes. Did you watch this follow-up stream, Kasha, where we did the Survivor like? Because I agree with you here. I think this one was a bad stream. Also because we chose a bad genre. We went for something very physics-based. Whereas in our Survivor, like, it was way more isolated mechanics and whatever, which I think was way more fun. Whereas, like, I didn't enjoy this stream either. Or, like, you know, the first 2 hours was okay, but then the long term didn't work out really. And I read this, and I agree with this. I didn't respond to it. I think the second one was better, but I would love to hear your opinion on it as well. What's most of the Survivor like? I don't know if it's some or if you watch most of it now. Yes, this was the first time we did this thing, so I knew things were gonna have to be better. We do have a very unique idea for a normally game. I might make into a game and publish it to Steam. Just don't spend too much time developing, I would say. And then you should be fine. Come on, Kasha, we're waiting on you. All of chat is waiting on your verdict of our latest video. Or our, like, latest live stream. Go on, give him a heart for the comment. No, because, I don't know. Like, it's still kind of felt like, I didn't know. This comment didn't make me exactly happy. Because, like, you know, it gets boring. It's, like, a very strong thing. I'll give him the heart. But it's not wrong. Like, this is correct. I thought it was boring. I don't know if the community decisions could be a thing. I don't think I did much of that. So yeah. You got the heart, Kasha. You better be typing an essay right now. Get any other comments pop in. Semi-successful indie developer here. Patreon's been my main Patreon's been my main income, seeing as I'm an adult developer. Easy, that's it. All you need to do is make adult games. I mean, I've been able to afford my monthly expenses. This is pretty fine. How do you market an 18+ game? What's the stance of parody games? How much should you charge for Patreon access? Yeah, I think this is like very interesting stuff as well. I think we can find. I should watch out now. Okay, no idea what it is. Don't put any emotions into constructive criticisms, no matter how much it is. I mean, if you're a faceless YouTuber or like a faceless commenter, like that's how it just how it is. I'm not really sure what to say. I think the idea is great. Okay, when I was watching, I was getting frustrated with all the bugs. Okay, I think it was better, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's prototyping. It's not going to be flawless code. So yeah, can't make the adult game when you have a wife. I think you can. Oh yeah, this was super, like, not awkward. Oh yeah, Hamster Steve. We talked about the Humble Bundle earlier as well on the stream. Yeah, so I talked about it earlier in the stream as well about like how I talked to one of the not YouTubers, game devs in our audience, and they were making an adult game, and they had like OnlyFans creator play it. And I had a meeting with them as well, like a video call, and they are like artists first. So think most high resolution boobs you can imagine. And they had like their own small office in New York. So like, it's New York, not that much space. So they were like 6 people in an office working. And the guy was having a video call, and then behind him there was someone else working. I could see everything. They did not mind at all. There was like 6 people, very professional, working on an adult game. I think it's only awkward if you make it awkward. So yeah, I think the Shape Survivor stream was better just because the idea is superior. Yeah. So yeah, you absolutely can make an adult game when you have a wife. You just have to be very cultural. I think indeed, it depends on who you are. I think if you have a very normie wife, it's not gonna happen. It's like the same thing with us. Like with Bite Me, we often joke, me and Will, like, okay, should we make a Suck Me Games game, like an adult game? And me and Willem are kind of down for it. Like, there are some technical issues and mainly artistic issues, but like, both of us, I think, could work on it, but it's gonna be kind of awkward probably, because we know each other, to like make games about it. Also, Schmiggy, how the turns of table. I remember Martin teaching us to never answer comments, giving me an example on Forge Industries and how he's putting Kasha in the spotlight. There's a difference. YouTube comments, I respond to, usually. Or a lot of these I don't, but like if there's questions or whatever, I respond to it. What you shouldn't respond to is Steam reviews. That's the big one. Don't respond to Steam reviews. YouTube comments is fine, I think, because it's very different. So yeah. Oh, here. Kasha, now we have you again. A dynamic bone for those jiggle physics and a jiggle slider in the UI. Marnix, how could you? In the NSFW would be disappointed. We actually have an issue with dynamic bone right now. It's already configured. But there's some network syncing issues that make it stuck, basically, that we're gonna do. And I did not know that you can lock scenes. But yeah, jiggle slider is gonna come. Not jiggle slider, but like customization slider is gonna be there, and jiggle physics is gonna be there as well. So that's it. Yeah. Can't believe this is what we're gonna end up on. Lads and lasses, it's been 2.5 hours since I've been live. I kind of want to hit the gym after this live stream still, so I'm gonna start wrapping things up, I think. Let's do a lightning round. Things you want my thoughts on, things you want my things off, and whatever. Send me your thoughts, questions, and things like that. Furkan Bauchi, I'm a very good offline follower of yours. I watch almost all of your videos, but it's hard to catch your online videos, like live streams, I guess you mean. And I'm not at work and it's hard to follow. Do you have a timeline or schedule? Okay, so week by week, there's not really an exact timeline, there are two main times when I live stream, basically. I can actually pull this up. Either I start live streaming at time zone converter. So I am in Osaka right now. Either I start live streaming at 6 p.m. Can I like... I'm just gonna give you a permalink. Okay, this is not really good permalink, I feel. Which is, let me just pull in like a Los Angeles, which is miserable for LA, so no Americans are watching basically. Let's go for a Brussels for Europe. So it's okay for Europe because this, no, this is not, this needs to be 6 p.m. So this is the one stream time, either at 6 my time, 2 at night for US, or 11 in the morning for EU. Or I start live streaming at 7 in the morning, 7 a.m., which is miserable for the EU and is great for the US. Those are the two potential times that we stream, basically. As for exact dates, it's kind of hard because I plan my live streams basically on how my girlfriend works. So she works either morning shifts or evening shifts. She works at like the Osaka Expo. If I'm not streaming when she's here. Right now she's working at like the evening shift. So that's why I do an evening stream. Now on Thursday, I can tell you that. I'm not going to show my calendar actually. Now on Thursday she has a morning shift. So I'm going to be live streaming at 7 in the morning. Which means that the US is going to watch and maybe some people in the UK who are staying up late. But most of Europe is going to be sleeping. So that's kind of the schedule. There's no in-between really, because if I go later, then nobody can watch basically. Like if I stream at like 1 p.m., both like the US is kind of late. And like the EU as well. So either I just stream very early, which is 7 in the morning, because my girlfriend doesn't wake up earlier, or I stream later. Now, today we're actually getting like really good viewers, like 132 concurrent on YouTube and then another 17 on Twitch, which I'm actually surprised by, which I think is still very solid as well. So those are the timings for our live streams. Are basically two options. If you want to be notified when we live stream, usually in our YouTube, in our Discord, sorry, we announce also like, hey, we're going to do live stream 3 hours ago. Like this automatically updates basically. So yeah. Kasha, I was thinking of going the adult route for games, but I think it's better to start the Coomer game instead of a full adult game. That way you can test out the waters. Oh, there goes my mic. I think you should just hard commit. I think... Oh yeah, you're not going to hear me. Second. Like it depends also what kind of adult game. Is it 2D or 3D? I think that's a big thing as well that you need to keep in mind. Are you going to draw things? Are you going to model things? Those things matter as well. I talked about this once with an NSFW dev. When we were working on My Virtual Friend, where we were considering make this a Coomer game and like add like bikinis and whatever. And he's just said either you go full in or you don't. And we ended up not doing it. I think for you to like, just go full in basically. Before you go, I need to know your favorite anime. Okay, it's Horimiya. Oh, it's slice of life romance. It's either this Horimiya or it's Love is Hard for an otaku. These are the two peak animes. That's all you have to know. It's not Orb. It's slice of life and romance anime. That's all you need to know. And I think, what's it called? Fuck. Full Metal Alchemist is ass. That's it. That's my anime stance. I don't watch much. I watch some. But yeah. That's it. I watch a lot of J-dramas because it's also better for me to learn Japanese from like hearing real people speak than like the very high-pitched and like isekai voices and whatever. How do you feel about Goblin Slayer? I have never watched Goblin Slayer, so I don't have a lot of feelings about it. Oh, we still had it open, Clean Splash. Stats. Kikonte Ikinai Kanshi. I do not know which one that is. Krovea. Bro, watch Unnatural Dead Investigators? I feel like it's not. Oh, it's a... Oh, wait. Oh, I watched this, I think. No. No, I didn't watch this. No. I didn't watch this. I thought it was something similar. Are you Belgian? I am, in fact, Belgian. The Duke of Death and his mate has a lot of tension. The main guy is cursed and he can't touch anyone because if they die, he did. Kumo Stern, you need to go outside and touch some fucking grass. This makes me think it's like the Konosuba style anime. Yeah, kinda. Like, I think I'm very basic. Oh, I have an underground suggestion that I think a lot of game devs may like. 16-bit sensation. Whoops. It's like kind of a history anime that talks about the development of visual novels and game development in Japan and like the technological evolution and like changes in like work culture, Akihabara, and whatever. This sounds like hella boring probably, but it was pretty interesting. I didn't really enjoy it from like, it's very generic, but I did like what they talk about. So yeah, I think that's kind of a trend. You also have like this K-drama, 2125. 2521. This is very different. Probably not if you guys saw it. And I got like suggested like, oh, watch this. The only thing I liked about this was the first time that I actually actively started learning about like the Korean economic crash of like I forgot the time, 2000s or whatever. I did not like the romance part. I just liked learning about the economic society and like how Korea was affected by it, because it's something you don't learn in Belgium education. So yeah, Wotako is great. Good to hear you have sophisticated taste. Yeah, 1998, before I was born. What do you feel of kickoff games like Space Plan? Let's go back to game development. Space Plan Clicker. I feel like there's still a market for it, but can't be sure. I'm solo and bad at art, so maybe this can... Oh, I think this is a very rough genre to still bring out nowadays, where you have a lot of like idler games at this point. Like, you know, you have so many like free idler games as well. I think it's very, very hard to stand out, I would say. And I think that's the bigger issue. Jesus Christ, why are there so many idle hentai games? I'm not gonna hover over anything, but I feel like 3 of the games that I'm looking at right now are like adult clickers. Oh yeah, Eidolon, that's the one. Like, you're competing with stuff like this and like Super Auto Pets and things like that. So yeah. Click on Sloppy Fields Lamau. Yeah, and then the channel gets deleted. So yeah. You don't have to do anything besides watching. This is not Stellar Blade. There was like this game on the Steam NextFest. Oh, do I still have the list? It was just called Boobs. I'm not gonna open it for obvious reasons, but I think it performed pretty well. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was literally just called Boobs. No. 7 games have boobs in the title, apparently. Yeah, this was in the top 500. This destroyed a lot of our viewer-submitted games, where it's just jiggle physics with the mouse. That's the entire game. Funny studio name as well. This was a top 500 Steam NextFest demo. Do I want to look? I can look this up, I think. Yeah, let me... 3442220. 3442220. Are we gonna be safe? Yeah. This is at 16,000 wish lists. Look the game up for yourself if you want to know what the game is, but let me tell you, there is not a lot of gameplay. And that's like, you know, it sells, I guess. Do you know if this was their dream game? At least someone can now make the sequel called Butts and beat them to market with that one. I just saw Thomas from Belgium has just joined the games industry job hunting Discord I'm in. Is Thomas already tired of being your sugar dev? No. There's just a lot of Thomases. Free to play? I think it's just the demo that's free to play. They're gonna have some sort of monetization probably. So when are they releasing Butts and Cocks? You just have to... Oh, but it's kind of... Wait. You already have Amarillo's Butt Slapper. This is from a viewer of our channel as well. It says what it does what it says on the tin. You slap a lot of butts. So yeah, these games do exist. I feel like we're reaching a good point to wrap up the live stream, boys and girls. So I think we're gonna leave it at this. Everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. I had a very fun Yap stream. God, we talked about a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think those are main things. Join our Discord is a call to action, maybe. It's a cool place. Will your mate game have boobs too? Of course. Customizable slider for how big and jiggle physics. We're not stupid. We know what we want. So yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll be back. I think, like I said, I can tell you when the next stream is gonna be. But I feel like not a lot of people are gonna watch it. The next stream is gonna be on Wednesday. No, my time. Fuck, what is it? Oh, my brain is dying. It's gonna be on Thursday morning, my time, 7 in the morning. It's gonna be like on Wednesday evening for the US, and most of EU will be sleeping. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, everyone, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.